Stimulating. Mind experiment.
It's no sleep, baby.
Welcome. Welcome, one and all, to No Sleep, the podcast. Did you stumble upon us scrolling through YouTube, hoping to find softcore porn? Well, have I got good news for you? I'm AJ Simmons. That's my name. I'm 1/3 of your podcasting crew this evening, and every Monday evening at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. This is a comedy podcast. You may have noticed. It's a real chuckle hut in here. And thus, I will be doing a few little jokes that I wrote. First joke. Costco is a great place for people with control issues, I say. My wife might be fucking the Schwan's man, and all of my kids resent me, but at least I won't be running out of AA batteries. You know?
Yep.
Not once.
No.
Got another joke. That one sucked, but this one you're gonna like. I can almost with 100% certainty say that porno titles are the only thing that get better the more spelling errors it has.
Ah, yes. Yes.
Or grammatical errors.
Yes.
Yeah. That's my time. I cede my time to the next.
I didn't write a joke, but I have some. I'm just going to share an observation. Had a baby. I didn't have a baby. My girlfriend. That's right. Last week, they prepare you for a lot of stuff and birthing classes and all that. What they don't prepare you for is watching a bunch of people go fist deep in your girlfriend. That's it. Yeah, you're like, whoa. Yeah. Like, I guess I'm not packing as much heat as I thought I was.
Right.
Yeah.
This anaconda has some competition.
That's right. Yeah. So, all right. You go, Alex. Sorry.
I have so many jokes. I have no jokes, but here's a note I wrote. We'll read off that.
Here's a little note I wrote.
People are commenting on Kamala Harris's laugh. She laughs all the time.
Oh.
And they act like that's a bad thing. But have you ever heard Donald Trump laugh?
No. Never.
He's never laughed. Not once. I don't think he's even capable of it because he doesn't understand how joy works.
That's absolutely
But if he
true.
did laugh, I think it would sound a little something like this. Ha ha! Hey, I don't know.
Hell yeah. That sounds right.
Yeah, a bit of a malfunction.
Yeah.
That is strange. Because sometimes I feel like I'm a bit of a curmudgeon or a grumpy guy, but I feel like I'm laughing all the time. I feel like if you're laughing all the time, you're probably not.
You're doing okay.
Yeah, you're doing
You're a
all right.
real person.
Yeah, you're feeling feelings. Emotions are coursing through your body.
No one's
Sometimes
ever
too
seen Donald Trump giggle or laugh.
Yeah.
It just never
I think
happened.
that's a real, that would be a sign of true narcissism because you're not going to find other people funny if you're that narcissistic.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I mean, he says funny shit all the time.
He does.
Like, he's
Sometimes
hilarious.
on purpose.
But he's funny in that sort of dice way where it's like purposefully ignorant, or
Yeah.
I guess I don't know how purposeful Trump is at times, but yeah, it's a little bit of that. Like when
Right.
he is funny,
Yeah.
It's not like it's well thought out material necessarily.
Yeah. Last week he straight up said, Christians, I love you. Vote for me. And you won't have to vote again in 4 years.
And he said, I'm not Christian, too.
Yeah. It was fucking crazy. Truly bananas.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
What does
you
that
know what it
mean?
means. Yeah.
Is it a rapture type thing?
Yeah.
Ask the
Or
the Heritage Foundation.
Pretty crazy.
What is the Heritage Foundation?
Some fucking.
It's a bunch of
Foundation
right-wing
Heritage.
nut jobs with a lot of money that want to
Turn back the clock.
turn America into their vision of what America should be, which is
White.
Ugly white guys rule supreme.
Ugly white guys
Yeah.
get all the breaks. Ladies get no breaks.
Yeah.
Brown people get precisely 0 breaks.
Maybe -1 breaks.
Negative 5 or 6 breaks. Yeah.
Yep.
They're bad. It's all bad.
Yeah.
So
Who would have thought with such a nice name? Heritage Foundation.
Right. Yeah.
Sounds like they'd be up to nothing but good. You know? Should call it the
knows?
Bad Guy Corporation. Maybe that's the law that we should enact. You can tell I'm back on weed. Maybe that's the law we should enact. Is like you can be a bad business, like you can do bad things, but you have to have like a Looney Tunes bad company kind of name,
yeah.
like Dickhead Corporation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then you're like, okay, like
Yeah.
I get it.
You can still choose to
Right.
do business, but you can't have names like Heritage Foundation
Right.
or blowjobsrock.com,
Yeah.
you know.
Or what? I just watched Tiger King because I have the internet. What's the name of their zoo? Whatever.
That was in the middle of
But
COVID.
all
I
of the
purposely
zoos-
forgot the entire COVID time. So
all of the zoos in Tiger King are like, we're saving these baby tigers. Like, no, you're breeding them for profit.
Yes, correct.
and killing
Not-
the ones you don't like.
Yeah.
They
Truly
arguably
crazy.
have a life worse than death now.
Yeah. It's fucking
Yeah.
crazy. But I did finally see that. It was entertaining. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
It was
I see
captivating
why,
at
yeah,
the time.
all
It
especially.
of
was.
All
we
of
were all
America.
sitting at home. We couldn't do anything else
Yeah.
but sit at home.
And it was a vague sit at home, too, where I remember at Tiger King times, I thought, like, all right, you know,
Couple more weeks.
May
Yeah.
at the worst.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reminiscent of a strange time. I just remember them backing up the semi where they're like, oh yeah, this is all the leftover stuff that Walmart doesn't even want.
Yep.
And it was just full of like bologna and
Old-
hot dogs and
All the meat.
Hundreds
Yeah.
of pounds of it.
Yeah.
All the bad meat. And the dudes would pick it out first. They would pick out the good stuff first that they wanted to take home. Like, all
good
right, man.
stuff.
The guy that lost his legs in a zip lining accident or whatever, it was like seemed like the most decent guy in the whole show.
yeah.
I was like, oh man.
Yeah. And he's
Okay,
the
my
rocket
legs were
scientist.
crushed. Yeah. I walked on them for a few days and they had to be removed. Like, god damn, bro. That was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
That's hilarious that you're just now watching that.
Yeah. I made it a point not to watch it, but then Sarah was like, you need to see this because it's that interesting. I was like, it was pretty good.
You have a kid now. You have
It
to
was
watch
kind of like, it was like, I didn't watch Titanic until last year either. I refused. But I finally
Titanic
watched
is
Titanic
more
also.
egregious, I think.
We all have
as
that
a cultural phenomenon.
Yeah, we all have that
Tiger
like
King was big.
bit of cultural phenomenon that we're like, I'm not participating.
Yeah, I don't want to
in
be a
this.
part of that.
No,
Yeah.
thank you.
Game of Thrones was that.
And then years later, you're like, all right, I'll try it out.
Yeah. That's
Well, I'll
literally-
tell you what I didn't do that with. I snuck away from the fam last night and saw Deadpool Wolverine.
Let's go.
Buddy boy. It was so fun. And I know some people are out there complaining that it's like too much fan service. I'm like, what are you going to this movie for? You know what I mean?
That's kind of the definition of movies.
Yeah, yes.
Fan service.
Especially
Here,
Marvel
hey, fans,
movies.
here's something you'll like.
Yeah.
Why are you going to get mad at that?
And we've just given you a bunch of duds in a row. But here's some Deadpool in the MCU. You're welcome. I was like, thank you very much, Ryan Reynolds, because I enjoyed the shit out of that.
Is Deadpool a part of Marvel?
Now, his first 2 movies were Fox, where all the X-Men were. And now all of them get to go over to Fox. Finally gave in and we're like, we're not doing this right.
Yeah.
Except
Go
for
ahead.
Deadpool. Yeah. And
Write us a
Logan.
big old check and you can have them.
Yep. And now they all get to move over to the MCU.
Oh, so it
Deadpool
wasn't
was
like
the first one.
a comic canon type thing. It was more just who owns the
Yep,
rights type
exactly.
of thing. Okay.
And Sony owns Spider-Man and they have to like lease him.
Yeah.
Marvel has to like lease Spider-Man from Sony to make Spider-Man movies. That's why Sony keeps pumping out Spider-Man villain movies so they can keep it. So like even the super shitty movies are like Madam Web. Everyone's like, this movie fucking sucks. We're like, we still get the money from Spider-Man though. Yeah. So, and Morbius, that movie was just hot garbage.
Oh, wasn't that another Jared Leto?
It sure
stinker,
was.
too?
Yep.
Man, there's nothing that makes me smile. Speaking of smiling and laughing, nothing makes me smile and laugh more than how bad his Joker bombed.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like the hot topic
Embarrassing.
goth Joker
Yeah.
or whatever.
Has damage tattooed on his forehead.
I
in
remember
cursive.
when they first came out, they're like, "Here's the new Joker. Here he is."
In the first picture, everybody was like, "Oh
Everyone's
no!"
like, "What?
Not
A
the
glam,
not the Juggalo
Yeah.
Joker.
a glam juggalo Joker?
Yeah.
No one asked for this.
No, they
yeah, you
sure
ain't never
didn't.
seen this.
Well, and
Yeah.
it's
You
like
don't
a,
want to.
it's like a double tragedy too, because if I remember right, that was the first Joker
Post Heath Ledger.
Post Heath Ledger.
Yep.
So there's that, and then there's also the fact that Jared Leto is a great actor.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, he's one of the best of our
Dallas
generation.
Buyers Club.
Yeah, he really is.
He's quietly like in that same air as Joaquin and a lot of those other people.
But when you hear about his on-set antics as Joker, also, where he was like mailing people dead rats and like shitting in their toilets and not flushing it and stuff. And then
Well, I
everybody-
do that.
And everybody's like, "Fucking stop this! It's not. No one cares."
right.
And he was like, "Yeah, but I'm in character, bro." And you're like, "Oh,
Yeah, I'm sure for like actors that are slogging it out like
yeah."
year after year, day in and day out, doing movies and like, doing well and doing their thing. And then they get to fucking set and they're like, "Oh, this guy's doing method." Like, oh my God.
Yeah, especially
It's
that.
so unnecessary.
Like, do you really have to go method for a highly fictional character?
Yeah,
know?
like even in that universe, because I remember seeing that movie in theaters, which stunk also at large. The movie stunk, not
Yeah.
just Jared. But I remember, it didn't feel quite as like Nolan's Batman. Sorry, my laundry's done. Everybody, that's that beeping noise. Nolan's Batman felt like it looked like Chicago or something. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
for sure.
Where Suicide Squad felt a little bit more comic booky.
Yeah, which isn't always a bad thing, but that it just sucked.
It did.
It also came out right after Guardians of the Galaxy, and it was meant to be a very serious movie. And they're like, "Ooh, we have to do some reshoots and make it more jokey," which didn't work at all. And adding like classic rock tracks and stuff,
Yeah.
and it all kind of did not come together well.
Real stinkeroo.
Yeah, it still made money. I think, like, I don't know,
Yeah,
all those DC movies did, but the sequel was, or not. It wasn't even they just made it again. They
that's
instead of
right.
calling it, they called it The Suicide Squad, and we're like, we're getting a do over. They brought some of the cast back, and they're like, just pretend that other movie didn't even happen.
Don't worry, this one's better.
And it was
Weird.
way better.
Yeah.
Oh, was
Yeah,
it? Yeah, I don't
much
think I even saw
better.
that. No Jared Leto in that one,
Nope.
right? Yeah. It'd been funny if they let him try it again.
I mean, they probably could have made it work.
Let me take
or-
one more run.
Yeah,
At it.
that's what it's funny about
No.
Deadpool Wolverine is that the whole movie is kind of insulting them. Well, more like a gentle ribbing to the Marvel universe, but it's like you're doing this whilst simultaneously being the current biggest movie in the Marvel universe. So it's not really like
It's a very
you're not
meta
really,
thing.
you're not really ribbing them because you're about to make them $2 billion. But yeah, that's what I fucking loved about it too. And there's some characters pop up. You guys are like chef's kiss. So
You're
fun.
like Abe Vigoda.
would not have been surprising, honestly. It was fucking great. I
Nice.
really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I got no problem with the fan service
Yeah.
stuff.
No, man. And that's why these later Marvel movies that aren't doing it, like, who is this for? Like Ant-Man Quantumania. Like, you really didn't do anybody any service except make a shitty movie.
Which is
So,
a disservice, sir.
Yeah.
And then they announced a couple days ago Robert Downey
Oh
Jr.
my
is going to
God.
be Doctor Doom in the next couple of Avengers movies. So they're going to take another swing at the old pinata.
Which
Like,
is-
hey, remember the Avengers? You guys
Yeah.
love the Avengers.
Yeah.
And look, Robert Downey Jr. is back as the bad guy. Can you believe it?
Yeah, the hero that fucking sacrificed himself to save the event, to save the fucking universe. And then you're like, oh, now he's going to be the bad guy? It's just a really bad decision in my
Yeah, that's
opinion.
kind of crazy.
It's
That's like
and
that-
that's
It
what
was
they're
a
going
big
for.
deal to kill Iron Man in that
Yes.
movie. Like, wow, they really
Yeah.
did it. You're like,
Yeah.
whoa, wow.
Yeah.
So important. And then they're like, oh, guess what? He's back. But now he's Iron Man, or he's
Dr. Doom.
Dr. Doom, which is sort of an Iron Man, but a bad guy.
Yeah, it's not good. Dan Upton has an excellent Doomcast that came out today about that.
Is he also on the side?
He's on the side of it not being a good idea.
Yes.
Yeah. As everyone in that room cheered when they announced it, and I was like,
Fucking nerds.
bad decision. But I don't think nerds want. Dan Upton is the biggest fucking nerd I know, and he is like, this sucks. And I'm a movie nerd. I'm not a comic book nerd, but it's like this. I agree that this sucks. It is not a good decision, but we'll see what they do.
But you were like, I got a kid to feed, and you
That's right.
you got up out of there.
It's true. yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts on childbirth and rearing a child thus far?
Man.
I mean, there was a lot of there's 9 months of preamble. So
Yeah, it was a dramatic experience.
Was it?
It was. I wasn't grossed out. I wasn't that grossed out by anything, and I was surprised. There's a handful of first of all, it was rough. She got the epidural, and then we're all like, oh, so this is going to be smooth sailing from here on out. She's getting induced. Then they give her the hormones to induce the labor. And that starts going. Alex hasn't heard any of this. AJ's probably heard most of it. So the labor is going, and she goes from 2 centimeters to 9 centimeters dilated in under an hour, which at first they were acting like it was good. And then they were like, ooh, this ain't good. Because the epidural wasn't working, and her cervix was still completely there, and at this point it was swollen and aggravated. I don't know what the word I'm looking for. Inflamed, yeah. And so
In fuego.
and the epidural wasn't working, and I've never seen. Here's my girlfriend in the most pain I've ever seen anyone in. Ever, and like in person, just watching someone be in this much pain.
It's alarming.
And I'm like, I hope you're okay. Like rubbing her back, like feel better. Like I don't know what to do. And should I get out of all these people's way? Yeah.
let me take a look.
Yeah. Well, Sarah's like, I don't want you to look. Not at this time, but like beforehand. She's like, you don't need to look. And so we get through all the horrible. So they had.
I think I kind of want to look.
Yeah, they took out that epidural.
You don't want no part of this.
Yeah. And they gave her a different, which is a big ass needle in her back, like right into her spine.
Oh yeah.
And then they took that and gave her another one, and then that one like didn't work. Like they didn't do it quite right. So they had to do it again. And this whole time, she's in the most pain she's ever been in, having to sit straight up while they're stabbing a needle into her back.
Into her spine.
Yeah. And the second one luckily worked. And then after however long of that serious pain, they gave her a bunch of Benadryl, and now the epidural was working, and she just went dunk. She was out. She was conked out, still having contractions like nobody's biz, but she was unconscious. And then the birth was happening. They're like, do you feel like pushing? We got the cervix is like gone now. So
at some point she wakes back up.
Yeah. So the whole time she was in that horrible pain, they were like, as much as you want to push, you can't push. Don't push. And she's like, like when I think I'm gonna push. When they were putting the second epidural in, also this doctor like knew her cousin. And he was like, you related to Meredith Mulholland? And she was like, yes. Like, I went to school with her. It was like,
shut up.
And she was like, she literally said, he was like, I don't know, like this should work for you. She was like, just hit me over the head with a fucking frying pan, which was quite hilarious.
And Toll's like, I got it.
Yeah. And Toll's like,
yeah. Also, while she was in all that pain,
Hit me with a frying.
I was like, the urge, like being in that situation, of my girlfriend screaming in pain, being able to do nothing about it. I was like standing there. I should have maybe felt like crying, and I couldn't. I was like, my body was like, it's time for you to laugh. And I was like, don't fucking laugh. I was like, oh my God. So I was just making the emoji baring your teeth face. Because that's exactly, I was like, oh my God. Because I was so uncomfortable. I was like, what do you do? I was like, oh my God.
we think this man's had an aneurysm. Some sort of brain embolism.
And then the actual birth man, that was crazy. And they're like,
Right.
she's up stirrups, and the nurse practitioner / not doula, mothers. All the words are lost on me right now.
Yeah, midwife.
Midwife. Thank you. Can't think of the word. She's like, "Do you want to look?" I was like, "Well, she told
I'll
me."
take a peek under the
She
hood.
told me I shouldn't look. And, she's like, "Just come look." I go look, and it didn't upset me. But
you
you
put
look
my
in,
readers on.
and then like you see way in there, and you're like, "Oh shit!" Way deep down in there, there's your baby's head, like way like where you
can
couldn't
see it.
imagine a head being.
Right.
And then later, the head, time passes. She pushes a bunch, does a great job. I was counting down for her, like 1, 2, 3, 4.
You're like, I can do this.
Yeah. And then you look, and then there's just like a head coming out. Like, that is fucking crazy.
Yep.
Yeah. And it was. And then
Whoomp, there it is.
a bunch of people ran in because they were worried that the shoulders might get stuck, but they didn't. And then a baby came out.
Wow.
And then they were like, this is actually a miracle baby, because unbeknownst to anyone up until that point, there was a knot in the umbilical cord.
Oh,
And they were like, this is like a miracle. I was like, oh shit. Well, I'm glad we didn't know that before, honestly.
Merrill
That
the
was
miracle.
Yeah.
A miracle.
Yeah. And then there's just like this, and you're like, God damn.
new
there's a
person
baby.
in the
Yeah.
house. There we
Yeah.
go.
Right.
Yeah.
Does it cry right away? Like,
Sarah was, I don't know what's supposed to be happening. And Sarah was like, is she okay? Because she wasn't crying. Like, is she okay? I was like, I don't know.
Usually you want noise because then that means they're breathing.
right,
Yeah.
right.
If there's silence, that might mean there's
Yeah.
a problem.
And then some stuff went on. They kind of wiped her off and stuff. And they're like, do you want to cut the umbilical cord? Which I did. And it felt kind of like
A real tough piece of meat.
yeah, like a gummy worm with like a piece of gristle in it.
Yeah.
You're like,
Got to really work.
yeah. That was strange.
These Fiskars ain't cutting it.
And then the baby was just like chilling. It was crazy. She's so chill.
Wow. Yeah.
Even
she's
now.
very chill. She did poop on me, not to brag.
Yeah. It's pretty
Pooped on
cool.
while I was holding.
I was like, hey, Meryl, when AJ gets here, let's poop on him.
Go ahead and let
Take
it
a
rip.
fat dump.
Yeah.
Well, because
Yeah.
it was the second
Meryl,
time I had helped
Meryl,
her because
swing for the fences.
Toll went to the bathroom or
Yeah.
something, so I was there. At this point, I wasn't as scared of like breaking her because when the first time,
Oh, yeah.
I never held a baby that new. They were always like,
Yeah,
little,
me either.
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
And even when
Hot and fresh out the
Yeah.
kitchen.
Yes, but that second time, I was like, I don't know. I think Toll's kid might smell bad.
yeah.
How do you tell somebody their new baby stinks? But then I realized that she actually
This
should.
baby stinks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought she just stunk, stinky baby, but she
This baby
had in
fucking
fact shit her
stinks.
pants. Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy. Did you have one of those metal circles strapped to your head?
No. They don't give me. They didn't. I was like, I didn't have to wear a gown or gloves or
Really?
fucking anything. No, they're just chilling in there.
Crocs on?
Yeah. No, I wore shoes. I didn't put Crocs on until after I went home day 2, and then I was like, new dad. Guess who's wearing socks with his Crocs? Right away. I was like, I'm sorry. It was so
Big
fucking
dad
cold
energy.
in there. It was so cold in that room. You sleep on a bench. The atmosphere is dad's welcome, but nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, dad's welcome, but fuck you, dads.
yeah.
Curl up on this little dog bed.
Yeah. Dad is not a concern.
Yeah.
Which it makes sense.
Fair enough.
But they could make the bed slightly more comfortable.
They should have an area, at least have an area where the dads can go, like work on leather stuff and
Yeah.
Yeah.
make home.
I'm a dad now.
Yeah, beef jerky and stuff.
Well, I did say like there's a galley, and I was like, man, Sarah might have given birth, but I'm pretty sure I broke the record of most Diet Pepsi drank by a human being on the second floor of this hospital. Because there was just a Diet Pepsi fountain I had access to. I was like, I'm going back.
Yeah.
I was peeing and washing my hands, and that's pretty much what I did.
And they had great little packing peanut style ice.
Yep.
It's like, I don't know it's not cubed.
Crushed.
They do call it crushed,
Yeah.
even though it's not crushed.
It's like pellety
Yeah.
almost, but it was great. I had a few Diet Pepsis myself.
Yep. Yeah. Then you just sit there. I was like, God damn, I want to go the fuck home.
Boring.
Yeah. But I did. I went home and fed the cats and fish and stuff a couple times, and then headed back. Then they let you go, and you're like, I'm glad Sarah knows what she's doing because I sure as fuck don't. And now we're at it. The well-behaved little baby that just doesn't do anything except eat.
The good behavior continues.
Yeah, man. She just eats and poops and pees and cries when she wants to eat. And that's literally it.
How many diapers have you changed?
I probably changed like eight diapers.
Nice.
Yeah.
Some dudes are like, I don't change diapers. That's just the way it is.
No, I was like, I'll be, after,
Yeah, you got to get in there.
Of course.
And,
I'm trying to change some diapers.
Yeah. Once that baby starts eating hibachi grill, then
Then I'm going to be like, Sarah, this baby belongs to you.
Yeah, things done change after
Food gets introduced.
when food is introduced, you're like,
Yeah.
oh,
yeah.
There it
these are
is.
some real shits.
You went from a baby to a man. Yeah.
These some real ass shits.
Yeah. But yeah, everything's are going good.
Nice.
Has there,
it.
has there been something that has been like the hardest to learn thus far, like or hardest to adapt to in new baby life?
I think
Anything that surprised you?
no. I think the accepting of that my life is now never going to be what it was
Yeah.
is a little daunting.
Yeah.
It's taking some mental,
Recalibration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bing bonging, if you will.
Yep. Some mental bing bonging for sure. But yeah, otherwise things are good. It's crazy. We're lucky to have such a cute, chill baby so far. Knock on wood. She is so cute. People are commenting that how cute she is to a degree where I'm like, somebody gonna try to steal my baby? I don't know.
This baby in the picture.
Yeah. Like, how do we profit off this baby? That's the real question.
Yeah,
We'll
plenty
find
of
out.
time to work on that.
Yeah.
Yes. She is very cute. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I just felt like she was like a little glass figurine. I was like, I'm so.
It's crazy. You're like, you got to pick this thing up. And like, she can't even hold her own head up.
Nope.
And you're like, oh my God. If you don't pick her up right, you could break her.
Yeah.
That part's crazy too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're like, oh my God.
And it's like that for a while.
Yeah.
There'll be a day, months from now, where all of a sudden she'll pick her head up and you're like, thank God. But still, it's not over for a long time.
Right.
Like yeah.
Listening to Tasha's podcast, he says that Sarah won't appreciate this, but like the keeper date or like the baby's going to be okay after you have it. It feels like it's about 8 months.
Yeah.
Like once you make it to 8 months, you kind of feel like the baby is resilient and you don't have to worry as much.
It's toughened up enough at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For real.
Because right now we're like, damn, this is you just hold her. Doesn't even know. Got all those fingernails. She's like trying to poke her eye out constantly.
Has no control over anything. Can't really see yet.
Yeah.
Has no idea what's going on.
All her bones are mushy.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what Everly said. Be careful, the baby doesn't have any bones. I was like, it is what it seems like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More cartilage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. At one point, Toll was holding her, and I just took my finger like that, kind of like up and down the back of her head.
You're like, ooh.
Well, yeah.
Don't poke too hard.
Yeah, exactly.
Not quite done bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was just rubbing her right there, and I guess she was going, "Rah," or something.
Yeah.
So making some little funny face, and I was like, yeah, probably because it feels like I'm like touching her brain.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
Yeah.
so lightly. Just,
Yeah.
She has a pretty good head of hair.
Yeah.
As a man who appreciates a head of hair, pretty good.
Yeah. It's something. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. That's the baby cast, everybody. See you later.
Yeah. But yeah, we've had it pretty good so far.
Hell yeah. Yeah, other than I guess that initial little scary period or that unknown, what the cervix is angry and
Yeah. That was, I mean, then you're just
Diameter,
standing as the
dilated.
dude, you're just helplessly watching
Yeah.
someone be in pain, and you're like, sorry. Try to
Right.
rub, be like,
Yeah, like, hey,
but not rub wrong.
do you know where the phone charger is? I'm sorry.
I can crack one of those eggs on your head.
Yeah.
Does that help?
And she wasn't mean to me once. I thought, in fact, I'm like, she probably should have been at least once.
Right.
You know?
You have earned it. At this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. So, but she
AJ.
wasn't.
Yes.
It says YouTube is not responding.
YouTube is not
It's giving me some
responding.
errors.
Oh, no.
Error.
Oh, no.
Did it just start?
It didn't. It doesn't look like you're like not live anymore, but it is giving me an error that I can't resolve.
Did it just start?
Yeah.
Do we
it just
keep
popped up.
talking?
Yeah.
Nope.
No.
So, how was your weekend? Did you do anything?
I worked a lot.
Did you watch anything?
I watched the newest episode of How to Train Your Dragon, aka House of the Dragon.
Yeah, I haven't watched the most recent ones.
Ooh, it's so good.
Is it? It seems so. I don't know what my deal is, but I can't. Like, just watch it. And I loved the last. Like, I've watched the first 3. I need to catch. Is it 5 now? 4 and
8.
5? No.
7?
Oh, that could be possible.
There's 7
yes.
because 8 is it, and that's next week.
But also, I can stream it now.
Yeah.
So I don't have to be before when I was recording it. I'd have it delete after however many episodes.
yeah.
So it forced me to watch it. It's just so. Sometimes it's so bleak, kind of, and intense. I'm like,
Yeah.
ugh. And I've been watching. What did I watch? I watched The Boys. Got up with that. Told you. I watched Invincible
Just for fun.
for fun. Yeah, I watched the first season of Invincible. Which is
Wait, season as a show? I thought you
Invincible. It's an animated superhero show
Huh.
that's extremely violent.
Is that anything to do with the movie or no? Just
No, nothing. Isn't the Invincible with Mark Wahlberg playing
No.
the receiver for the Eagles?
Yeah. I was thinking Unbreakable.
Oh yeah,
Is Invincible? Is that where It's Always Sunny gets that joke about
Yeah.
where they like the
Tryouts for the Eagles.
Yeah, the Eagles have to continue to hold open tryouts.
Right.
Is that the movie they're
Yes,
referencing?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg qualifies to play for the Eagles in this movie,
Yep.
I presume.
That's not
true story.
what I watched. 100%. I mean, I'm sure but
It's
yeah.
a true story.
What I watched was about a superhero that calls himself Invincible, whose dad is like a version of Superman that becomes evil. It was good. I'm gonna
What
watch
was that?
season 2.
What is that on?
That was on Amazon Prime.
Joel's just out there just feeling all the streaming services.
and I watched
now.
that, and now I'm watching Fallout. Watched the first 2 episodes
Oh,
of
yeah.
Fallout. Fucking love me some Walton Goggins. I'm digging
He's the
Fallout.
best.
Yeah,
Is that based off the video game
it
Fallout?
is. Yeah,
I feel like I've heard a lot. I mean, I remember that being a popular game, so it must not have been terrible.
I saw in the
Yeah,
in the
it's
little
really,
blurb.
I never played it, but it's supposedly one of the best games.
Nice.
It is, and the show was apparently nominated for 17 Emmys. So
Damn.
yeah,
What channel is that on?
that's also Amazon. They got a lot of money to just throw at things
Yeah,
to see if they stick.
This
Which
streaming
is fucking
toll.
insane.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's problematic. I believe it's going to be.
It's going to be a lot of movie watching for this.
It
paternity
is.
leave.
Well, I mean, I'm going to watch a bunch of shows first too. How many Marvel shows will I watch? Hard to say.
Hard to say at this
Hard
point.
to say. I don't know how invested I am in all those, but
Is there any streaming platform you don't currently have at your fingertips?
yeah, there are. I don't think we have one of the bigger ones.
Do you have Max?
We do have Max.
Paramount Plus.
Don't have Paramount Plus. That's what I want. It's to I can watch The Daily Show, but I still have DirecTV right now.
Yeah.
So
Hell yeah.
Riveting conversation.
Yeah. We came back with a fury after that brief interruption.
Toll's a dad now. That's what we talk about.
yeah.
Streaming service.
Crocs with socks and streaming TV shows.
I did want to mention, I wrote here on the scroll is back, by the way, folks. Smaller than usual, but scroll is back. I did write down here, I am still laughing about Toll's Chinese food story.
Oh, yeah.
I mentioned this at the hospital, but I do believe it deserves mentioning again.
Yeah.
I think it was overlooked how funny that story was in the last episode.
Which one?
When I ordered Chinese food, and the lady, first of all, they were excited to hear from me, and Sarah could hear it, and she's like, "That is so cute." And I was like, "Yeah,"
because they hadn't heard from me in a while. Yeah.
And then I went there to get the food, and she's like, "Oh, Toll, like, what's going on with you?"
What's up?
I was like, "Oh, I might have a baby." She's like, "Oh my God, how old are you?" Yeah,
I was crying with laughter multiple days since that.
42. She was like, "Oh my God." I was like, yeah. I don't think it's that unusual, but maybe.
How old are you?
Yeah.
Just the layers are delicious, of
There was
eating at a Chinese takeout place enough that they like worried something was missing, something was wrong, Toll was not ordering, and then I don't need to explain the joke, I guess.
Yeah. No. There was an old lady on the elevator at the hospital. Two things. One, so there was a lady that got on the elevator is going down, and I was on the fourth floor. It was 2, but it goes down to A, whatever. It's 4th floor up. And the lady, I was only going down one. The lady's like, "It's just going down 1 floor, and then it comes right back up." I was like, "Yeah, I know how elevators work." And then she got on the elevator, went down a floor, and then the elevator came back up. And the same woman that just went down 1 floor and tried to
Do you know
explain-
how elevators work?
She got off, and I was
The
like,
Irish German rage in me will headbutt a motherfucker to the ground.
she got off, and I was like, "Wait, you're." I was like, "All right, lady, you never got off the elevator, and then you just got off right where you got back on." And then another lady on the second day I was there, hadn't left the hospital at all at this point. I got on the elevator, and this older woman goes, "Ooh, you smell good." And I was like,
No one's ever said that before.
I was also like, I definitely don't. I was just remarking in the room on how bad I smell. I think I was leaving. I was going home to shower, in fact. I was like, "Yeah, lady, I definitely don't smell good."
She
But
liked your pheromones.
She did.
though.
Something
She
was
liked that
going
stank.
on. Yeah.
Maybe that's where she
I was
hangs
like,
out.
yeah.
It's like where it's like this guy clearly his loads work.
Yeah.
He's literally
a
here.
fertile
having
man.
fertile man.
Yeah.
Pick up some dudes.
Yeah.
You smell good, baby. Mm-hmm. She smack you on your ass.
She wanted to. So,
Yeah, I like that little bit.
yeah. AJ brought a bunch of snacks.
They did.
And on that very evening, I went to Walmart. I came back and I was eating. My sister had brought me, and niece had brought me a bunch of snacks too. So I had like toffee and chocolate covered pretzels and nerd clusters and combos and Fritos. And that evening, while Sarah was asleep and we could send the baby to the nursery, I was watching Futurama on DVD because I had a DVD player. I'd pick that up at home.
Nice.
And I had every single bag of
keep
stuff
that motherfucking thing
open. Yeah, dude. Every single thing was open, and I was like, "All right, some of this." I was like, "See, it's not so bad if I'm eating a little bit of everything." I ate like 2/3 of every single bag in one sitting, and I was like, "Damn, you're a man now." Yeah. It was gross, and I actually didn't feel good. It happened finally.
Yeah, I mean that's a real speed.
And Toll had a baby after that.
Yeah.
About a 10-pounder in the toilet. Yeah, the speedball of like combos, nerd clusters, toffee, chocolate. Yeah, what a giant candy dump you just.
Oh yeah, buddy. And they get the combos.
You smell good,
Give it
baby.
a little extra rocket power in there. But it was fun. I enjoyed my evening.
Yeah,
Just
that
binge
sounds like a
eating.
good night.
Yeah.
I've done a little bit of that myself.
Yeah. But otherwise, that's it. That's all I had going on. So how about you guys?
Did you have a good weekend?
I ate quite a bit of Pizza Hut on Friday night.
Oh, good for you.
Not to brag. I've been doing this thing where I get a pasta and a pizza and then a large order of breadsticks.
Sure.
And just eat all
Make a
of
whole
it.
meal.
Oh, hell yeah.
This is like a real meal. This is like home cooking.
Yep.
Then you unhinge your jaw and just push it all in.
Like a Scooby-Doo sandwich.
Hell yeah.
So I got an idea what you're talking about at that hospital. Yeah,
My sister
that
brought
sounds
me
good.
a couple casseroles today. I brought our family some casseroles. I'm like, oh my God. 6 weeks without working and just all as much food as I could possibly eat. It's going to be.
I was smoking some meat the other day. I'm like, oh, I should smoke Toll and the fam some pork. And I go, he'll just eat the whole fucking thing immediately. And then I laughed really hard and forgot about it. Like, oh, I should bring Toll a bunch of ice cream. He'll just fucking eat it all.
It's funny, man. Yeah. Sarah went to the grocery store and she was like, you're going to have a lot of food in the house not to eat. And I was like, yeah. Yeah. So, I try not to eat Everly's food. That's number one.
Try.
Which means he has.
I have eaten some of it, but I don't eat all of it. Like those cheese sticks are not all for you, buddy.
Yeah.
You know?
But some of them are, right?
Yeah, they absolutely
Just because
are.
they have cartoon characters on them doesn't mean they're just for you.
Yeah.
The number of
right.
fruit snacks I've eaten as a dad.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
fruit by the foot too. Which was
Yeah, because when your kid gets into food, you know, you give them little safe things to eat, little
Cheerios,
like puffed
like
rice,
a hole
and
in 'em.
Cheerios, and you start
Cheeto.
working them out, and then you're like, oh, maybe a little for me too. Give dad a taste for once.
Yep. For once.
Let me wet my beak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me get a little bite of that fruit by the foot.
That's what I'm here. I mean, I'll do it all, man. Don't throw food away in front of me.
Don't you ever.
Yeah. Because like Everly had a bowl of Cheerios. She ate like one bite.
Yep.
I was like, well, don't.
That's the other
I ate
secret.
it. Yeah.
Not in this house.
Yeah.
As a dad, you make mac and cheese for the kids and hot dogs and whatever, and
Yeah.
they take like 3 bites. You're like,
You guys don't know what you're missing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Especially mac and cheese with hot dogs.
Hell
I
yeah.
would never let that go to waste.
Absolutely not. No matter what it
Yeah,
does. to me.
little kids eat like birds. A couple bites here, they're like, ha ha, and they run away. And you're like,
But then sometimes they eat like
I'm gonna eat the rest,
a
I
fucking
guess.
Haas. You're like, good God
Yeah.
Almighty. Yeah. It varies.
Yeah. Has Meryl impressed you with her eating thus far? Has she sucked down a bottle?
Yeah. At first, I was like, oh, you give her like this much, and then after a day, they're like, then you like give her this much, and then it's like the whole little bottle. Like, God damn. And then she starts pooping. You're like, I was told this did not smell. And it does, but not that bad.
I'd like to file a complaint
It's like
at the hospital.
it's like a prep smell. It's like, all right, you're going to learn how to wipe up poop
Yep.
that doesn't smell that bad to prepare you for the poop you're going to have to wipe up when it smells really
when
bad.
when it's eating Mongolian beef.
yeah, exactly. Because that's what I'll be feeding my baby. I'll
Yeah,
be
egg foo
tossing
young.
Mongolian beef in the blender.
How many cheesesteaks did this baby eat?
That's right.
Yeah, what age do they get to eat like just full blown food? Because I know there's a point where they can eat like food, but it's just chopped up real small.
Yeah, yeah.
I've seen those phases.
Oh, baby
Yeah,
food.
baby food.
Like before a year, when you get close to a year, right, Shyla? Yeah.
Sounds right.
Give me a thumbs up.
Around a year, you're feeding them real food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is it baby
8,
food?
9, 10. Yeah, baby food.
But when can
They
you,
got no teeth
when can you feed it like a piece of a cheeseburger?
when they have teeth.
When they have teeth.
Yeah.
What would happen if you did a little early?
You probably have to mush it up first.
Yeah. You got to mush
You
it.
can mush it up.
Yeah, you can mush anything up.
I'm just trying to think of something like a donut. You know, it's soft.
Think about somebody that had their jaw wired shut, right? Like you could suck a cheeseburger through a straw, but that's your only option.
Right.
Okay. I guess that explains why baby food's all pureed like that, you know.
No
Yeah.
chunks.
I was just wondering when the cheeseburger era was, but I can wait on that.
Watching a little kid eat
You got a
a
little
whole
time.
cheeseburger is fascinating, amazing.
Yeah.
I remember hanging out with Everly for the first time when she was 2, and she ate a bowl of macaroni and cheese. She ate the whole bowl, and I was like, comparably, this would be me having my family's giant aluminum popcorn bowl full of macaroni and cheese and eating the entire thing.
No problem.
Yeah, and just like amazing.
Feel great.
Yeah, it was
No
like,
problem.
wow, that is fucking amazing.
Oh, you're building a body with this.
Yes,
I am
yeah.
not.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
destroying my
I mean,
body.
I am. Yeah, not a good one.
I'm annexing a bunch of more. Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds like you respected it almost like
Hell yeah!
on a power level.
I was amazed.
Where you're like, you bring back another boy, like, can you do it again?
Yeah.
This time I
Watching her
want
eat
to film
a whole quarter-pound Bebop's cheeseburger as a 3-year-old, like, god damn. Like, if I weigh, I don't know, 10 times more than you,
Right.
approximately, maybe 8 times more than you.
Right.
And that was what I also ate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
With some fries and stuff, but it's like, god damn.
Forget what it's like to be a growing human.
Yeah.
Need fuel for that machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you think about as a teenage boy, what you could fucking put down.
Oh yeah.
Unlimited.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't joking about that panda. I really do think I spent like $15,000 on
Yeah.
and that's when you're like full testosterone, like the purest, like jet fuel level testosterone
Yeah.
is like that age too, early 20s, 18, 19. So then you're just burning. You could eat like 9,000 calories a day.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Taking giant hard shits. I miss those. Giant solid shits. Those were the days, you know?
Don't worry, you'll have a bunch of varieties of shits to deal with soon that aren't your own.
Yeah. But I've dealt with a couple.
It's also a shocking thing for how much they eat. And then sometimes when they take a dump, you're like, I don't think I could do that. What is happening right now? This is not okay. I didn't go to the doctor. You just took a massive adult sized shits and you're 3 years old.
Yeah.
Wow.
My prodigy.
Yeah. Look at,
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Hell yeah.
How many
Away we go.
cheeseburgers do you think Everly can eat right now?
Now she's more a bird. It depends on the day, really.
okay.
Like what she had to eat.
I was thinking
but-
like on a I guess I was
it does. It
like a linear.
there's peaks and valleys.
yeah. Sometimes it's like 2 bites, and she's like, I don't want to eat anymore. You know.
And you're like,
Another time.
okay.
Yeah. Yep. Like yeah. I said, Everly, how many fish sticks are you gonna eat? So I don't know, 4, 5, 6. Like perfect. I'll make 20,
Yep.
and I did.
And she had 1.5.
She did have 6.
Oh, okay. All right, guys.
Me
6
and
for you,
I had-
14 for me.
Mom had 2.
Do you want any more of these?
Yeah. And then I had the rest. Delicioso. I fucking love fish sticks.
Nothing wrong with a fish stick.
Hell no. Love them.
I could never get down.
Never?
Oh, the fish stick?
I was this close to lying to kick it, as the kids say. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Where I was going to be like, yeah, fish sticks are cool. Anyway, I remember even being a kid and being like, I don't like the smell.
I get it. I
It's
understand.
only later in life because of sushi and a few other things. I have a frog in my throat. I apologize. But yeah, it's only kind of like mushrooms. Like it took a while for me to get on board with any kind of fish. Now I can eat like a fried fish
Yeah.
or something. But no, fish sticks weren't it for me.
I don't know when I always liked fish and I always liked mushrooms.
I always wanted like fish sticks. 'Cause I'm like, they look and they smell like a chicken strip with a little wang to it. you know?
Yeah.
Like it was intriguing.
Smells like
to me.
fish.
It was exhilarating. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
Yeah.
Now I can.
And now you could force down some fish sticks.
Oh.
What are you?
I would
gay
kill
fish?
for some fish sticks right now. Man.
What do you dip fish sticks in?
Tartar sauce, or you can do the old
You just have,
mix in ketchup and mustard. I don't mind doing that.
Do you?
But I always have tartar sauce on hand specifically for
wondering,
fish
yeah.
sticks.
Yeah, got to keep tartar sauce on deck.
Yep. And then you're like, oh, can I still use this 2-year-old tartar sauce?
Sure.
It's been in the fridge. Have at it. And I wonder why I haven't taken a solid shit in 10 years.
I thought of you a day ago when I was at Quick Trip. I saw the little sausage on the roller.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was like, I know one guy who
Jalapeno
would
cheddar.
kill for
Oh,
a
yeah.
little kraut.
Coleslaw, baby.
Oh, it's coleslaw.
That's right.
I almost brought you one, so I'm glad.
I would have accepted it happily. Also,
Glad
With the
Krauts.
kraut, yeah, okay.
That's what I used to when they have brats. They used to have brats at Quick Trip during the summer. I was like, oh hell! And then rather than coleslaw, I would do the sauerkraut and just load it because like it's free. You know, it's like a second. It's like a third hot dog just made out of sauerkraut on top.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
What do you guys like chicken gizzards? Have you had them?
I don't think I've ever had them,
I
actually.
trying to think
fucking
if
love
I
chicken
have.
gizzards.
The McGrains have a odd
We
diet.
eat some weird shit, I
Yeah,
guess.
even
mean,
the
I
seafood
would-
pasta was kind of alarming the first time I saw it.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, just because like I think I have a little bit of an aversion to seafood anyway. I think just in me,
Yeah.
but then never like my family was never a seafood family. Beyond like fish sticks was the most seafood I can ever remember.
Same with
doing.
my family. Yeah.
And it was probably just because us kids were so picky or something. But yeah, when I rocked up to the first
Yeah.
my first time at the McGrain Christmas, I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
It's the Feast of Seven
I was
Fishes.
like,
Yeah.
There's an eyeball in there."
Yeah. I don't know when I fucking love shellfish. I love a fucking little ocean creepy crawly.
Like a sea louse.
Yeah. I mean, if you prepare it right, seeing it on the creepy crawly you're planning on eating is less appetizing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
What does a scallop look like? To
They
have
look
such-
like a clam.
They do.
And then you take out like the center part. They look like a clam with like little tentacles coming out
You
of it.
pop it open and there's a scallop sitting right there with a bunch of the membrane and a bunch
Yeah.
of shit.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's just
Cut 'em
so
out.
perfect and cute. And
Oh yeah, it's a little stump of
Yeah.
sweet ocean meat.
So fucking good, dude.
Sweet ocean meat.
It is.
And that's what like lobster used to be peasant food. I mean, people like, rich people wouldn't eat lobster. It was a fucking giant sea cockroach to them.
Right.
And then people are like, damn, this actually tastes pretty good.
I saw someone was
The
making
sea cockroach hit different.
Yeah.
someone was making an argument online that people like stuff like lobster only because they've been told it's the best.
I disagree.
That's what I thought too. I'm like, lobster is great. You put a bunch of butter on
Dude,
lobster.
crab?
Oh,
There's
crab.
nothing better. Plus, you kind of have to earn it when you eat it.
You got to work a little bit.
Which makes, I will say, I don't like a raw oyster. I fucking hate it.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not a
same.
right.
And I thought,
I've tried.
I have too.
I've tried several times. I'm just like, no.
And I thought that because a fried oyster, like a fried oyster po' boy.
anything's good
I love
fried.
it, dude. And I'll eat mussels straight out the shell cooked. I'll eat oysters straight out the shell cooked.
Also an aphrodisiac.
Yeah, but a raw oyster, I was like, oh no, I can't. I truly
someone
can't
blew
believe
a fucking snot rocket onto a shell.
a sandy fucking loogie in a shell, and I'm like, I don't believe that anyone eats this and truly is like, this is fucking great.
Yeah.
I can't. I have a hard time believing.
I'm on the same boat with you on that one.
See, I think that's a situation where people really are like convinced
Right.
via themselves or society or Gordon Ramsay or something.
Right.
Right.
Like culturally that it's good when we all know. Because I remember having raw oysters again, sort of in that after I think I was on a date if I remember right, and I was like, we're about to get freaky as fuck, like
Yeah.
Eat these raw oysters and get
like
nuts.
what a crazy night, early 20s I think at this point, whatever. And I remember trying to choke that first one down, and like you said, it's just like a big snot loogie,
Yeah. Disgusting.
salty. They're like, oh, put a little lemon on it.
Yeah. When you have to cover it up too, I'm like, I don't.
Yeah.
And then they're like, don't chew it, swallow it. I was like, but then that's not good. That isn't a sign of something being
Right.
good.
You're literally
guy-
not enjoying it.
when
Like,
I remember
swallow it as fast as you can.
The server being like, then you go, I was like, okay. And he was standing there watching. I go, I was like, oh God. And then I chewed it and I was like, oh, this is even worse. And then I did swallow it, but I was like, that was fucking disgusting. Yeah.
Yes.
There's-
Check, please.
Yeah. It was not good.
You got some fish sticks back there? I could go for a nice fish stick.
I've heard about your famous San Francisco fish sticks. Let me get some of those. Yeah. No, but most of the creepy crawly stuff. And I don't like a big shrimp. A jumbo shrimp.
I love a big
I
old
love
shrimp.
shrimp, but something about a jumbo shrimp just kind of grosses me out. And I love lobster,
Yeah.
but the shrimp has more of that like that chew that like
Yes.
you're really biting through something to eat a giant
Yeah.
shrimp.
You can tell this had an exoskeleton.
Yeah. Where you can with lobster and crab too, but it doesn't. There isn't that like weird crunch.
Well, a jumbo shrimp is so in the middle too, where you're like, this is like a rat-sized
Yeah.
shrimp.
Yeah.
Sort of.
And I love shrimp. Shrimp is probably one of my favorite foods, but once it gets to monster sized, I'm like, not for me. I guess it's more of a prawn.
Have you ever had those Argentinian shrimp?
I haven't.
They're like little mini lobsters.
I would love that.
Ooh.
How big are
Yeah.
we talking?
I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
That big.
There
6
you go.
inches.
I got 6 inches.
I got 6 inches of seafood for you.
Sweet ocean meat. Sweet
Nice
sea
and
meat.
salty.
They don't call me the jumbo shrimp for nothing.
I had hot yoga tonight. so-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, seafood is probably my favorite food.
Yeah. I mean, it seemed.
Clams. I fucking love clams.
I always thought Clams Casino looked very good. Have you had Clams Casino before?
I don't know. I get this. I don't know what the clam thing, but like little clams, little whole clams, and like a olive oil butter sauce on like angel hair pasta. Is that Clams Casino? I don't know, but I fucking love that. Whatever it is.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
I think Clams Casino is like they prepare it or they put it in for presentation at least in the half shell.
Oh, okay.
And then it's like a cooked clam, some bacon, like little like toppings sort of
Yeah,
on
yeah,
it,
yeah.
and then you kind of shunk
Yeah.
right out of that.
Like, I taste the bacon, so now it's good.
Yes, exactly.
And I'm not gonna lie, I
sounds
fucking
good.
love whatever it is now. I think it's like $14 at Long John Silver's, where you get the
Admiral's platter.
the two big fish planks, like 6 shrimp, and then a bunch of fucking clam strips.
Oh,
Baby, no, there's a very little better in the world.
I haven't eaten at Long John Silver's in years.
You can only do it once.
I know.
a
Usually
year.
you're like, I haven't had this in
Yeah,
years, and
yeah.
you go there and you get the Admiral's platter. Then you're like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna shit myself to death.
yeah.
Yes.
I won't be
Yeah.
doing that again. And then a couple years later, you're like, meh, one Admiral's platter,
Yeah.
please.
Yep. I
Never learn.
love it.
Short-term memory on that one.
It does do a number on you, but I mean, did it break? Did the TV break?
Oh no, my laptop.
Oh, okay.
I just brought the laptop over just in case we ever needed to search anything. Research,
Right.
verification. We're known for that kind of shit
Yeah.
on here. So
Yeah. What would you say your favorite food is? That's always hard. It's one of the
mac and
impossible
cheese and
ones.
hot dogs is up there, higher than most would assume.
Yeah,
It's a classic.
pretty great. Yeah. Alex? What would you say the best thing you ever ate was? How about that?
Well, my favorite thing to eat, my favorite place is Great Plains Pizza in Ames, Iowa.
That is damn good pizza. You
It's
can't have many slices of
crazy.
it though.
No, I had like 2.
Yeah, and you're like, God damn, that wheat. You get the wheat crust, I assume.
Yeah. Oh,
Put
of
honey
course.
on it.
It's
Yeah.
so good. It's so good. I'm a steak guy. I like a good steak.
I think I had a filet mignon. The only time I've ever had filet mignon was at a rich friend of mine's wedding. And that was what they were serving. And I was like, it can't be that much better than the steaks I make on the grill. Like, I fucking love those.
Right.
And then
Put a little mac and cheese dust
and
on
then
it.
I was like, oh my God. It was pretty fucking good. Like,
when it just slides right
yeah,
through. It's
it
so
was
soft.
crazy how good it was. I was like, well, makes sense, I guess.
Every once in a while, you get a steak where it just you take a little, cut off a little piece, eat it, and just melts in your mouth, and you're like, that's what I'm talking about.
That is not what we had at that steakhouse that kind of looked like a strip club
No,
that
it
we
wasn't.
went to.
Yeah.
What was it called?
Oh, it looked like it was going to be like a cabaret.
I know. We thought we were-
burlesque steak.
Yeah.
We were
joint.
thought we were going
thought
to
there
see some
would be
scantily clad
strippers.
ladies
Yeah.
serving us food, but that was not.
It was not the
some
case
guy
at
that looked
all.
like me, basically serving
Yeah.
us food. I was
Yeah.
like, "Where's all the hot
and no one
ladies?"
else was there.
Yeah, we were the only people there at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And I was like, these steaks are $90 or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Speaking of which, Alex, I'll get you your money one of these days.
The juice is
One of
running.
these days, yeah. As soon as I start profiting off this baby, you know,
Yeah, of course.
oh, you hand it right over.
What the fuck was the name of that?
What was it? It was like burlesque. Was it called burlesque?
They send me
It
emails
was like
all
the
the
strip
time.
house. They even had
The
like
strip house.
Yeah. The strip
And
house.
it shows a stripper on the sign, and we were like, "Oh!" And we're like,
Yeah.
"That would be cool to eat at a
Steaks and half naked ladies
Yeah.
at 10 p.m. That's why
Right.
we're in
Yes.
Vegas.
like Vegas
Exactly.
Hooter. You know, like
That's-
Vegas-y
Yeah,
Hooters.
but like classy."
Yeah.
And it wasn't any of those things.
it was not. It was just some dork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the steaks were not worth the money,
They were
Yeah.
not.
unfortunately.
They were not.
Yeah,
Yeah, Vegas was fun otherwise, though.
absolutely. And I said that when we left. I was like, after we go to Vegas, I'm probably going to gain about 25 pounds in the course of however long it was. I was exactly right.
Yeah, we had In-N-Out.
Yeah.
We had a lot of good places.
Yeah.
What is this? The Foodie Cast?
I mean, that's what we're talking about, I guess.
I love it. Because you said seafood for your favorite food,
Yeah.
which is almost, it's like you can choose a genus or a species, whatever.
I would
Because I was trying to narrow it down.
shellfish.
Yeah, shellfish. Like, what's the thing that has to be in everything that I like? That I truly, truly like. I think it's definitely carbs, which means it's like noodles, I guess.
Right. If you're talking what the thing that you could eat all day, every day,
That's a different
forever,
question.
I would probably say Chinese food. Just like, give me some fucking Shangyan. I'd eat it every meal.
How old are you?
yeah.
What's with the question?
Read me the riot act over here.
But yeah, some takeout Chinese from a handful of different places in the metro area. I would.
It's
take
funny.
it.
When I was a senior in high school, there was like no Chinese food. I remember having it for the first time.
In Story City.
Well, there was none there.
Right.
So I went to Ames and had some. I was like, whoa, Chinese food. Whoa. This is
Yeah.
a whole fucking thing. Let alone sushi, which didn't get here till like 2007 or something.
Yeah.
Like all that shit was not like there's a million Chinese restaurants and there's a million sushi places around in Des Moines, Iowa.
Yeah.
But that was not the case 20,
Not even that
20
long
plus
ago.
years. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's a new sensation.
Ames had some fucking excellent Chinese restaurants.
They had
There was a lot.
Mandarin.
When I was there, they had a
They were
Mandarin.
old school.
It wasn't. Yeah. And there was also a lot of, and they were also fairly authentic because there were so many Chinese students that were going to Iowa
Yeah,
State.
college town.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a great place right on Lincoln Way called Chinese Home Style Cooking
Yep.
that I remember working construction, and then I would eat there like basically every day,
Yeah.
which is why I never.
He spent $15,000.
Yeah. Panda for lunch, Chinese home style cooking for dinner. That was it. I ate at the My House. At the time I thought it was the May House on Lincoln Way. That place was fucking good.
There was that one that was on Welch too, like the Golden Walk.
Oh, Golden Walk.
Yeah, or something like
There was
that.
also another one on Lincoln Way called Taste Place. And me and a buddy of mine,
That's
we
how
were
you
like,
know it's good.
That's exactly
They don't even know what they're talking about.
the more generic a Chinese restaurant's name is, or if
Yummy
you don't know
food.
what it means, yeah, then you're like, it's probably pretty good.
Yeah,
For sure.
Mr. Yum
Yeah.
Yums.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. There was a couple of good Thai places in Ames too. yeah, I don't know. There was decent. A college town generally has decent food offerings, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, you raised a good point, like demographically for Ames. I mean, after living there for, I guess like 4 or 5 years, I got a pretty good look at it, you know, and especially living in that campus town area. I mean, I think people would be shocked at the amount of Asian students that go there.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
if you didn't know, if you just pulled into Iowa,
Yeah.
the sheer amount of white people you're normally seeing, you'd be like, wow.
Yeah. Especially during the summer.
Yeah.
Where like all of the students are, not all, obviously, but a lot
Every
of
single last.
a lot of them stay in school for the summer also. Not to generalize, but you know,
Yeah.
they like learning.
We've never done that
You know what I'm
before on
saying?
this podcast.
I mean,
There's worse things to be
yeah,
generalized about
yes, yeah.
that they've been
Those
generalized.
well-educated losers.
Yeah.
Fuck those guys.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm just thinking about Chinese takeout or Thai food. Just a big plate of noodles.
I love Thai food also. I never eat it alone though. Almost never. It's something that's always like a date food. Like I never get Thai takeout by myself.
I used to get a lot from this
Yeah.
place called Blue, spelled BLU.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
the best back
Yeah.
in the day when it was over in the East Village.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, eat there all the time, and it's been quite a while since I've.
Where'd they move? They moved. They moved.
Now they're on Court Avenue, or they were for a while, right?
know.
No,
they
they're actually just like a block that way. Or
Oh, okay.
that way.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. They're
Yeah,
downtown.
they relocated to what used to be Fighting Burrito.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Along when I was a kid, there was Taste of Thailand, which became Blue
Oh,
in the East Village. Yeah.
I love it. I mean, they're drunken noodles, extra saucy, extra egg with pork, 4 spice,
I like
Four.
the Pad C EU 3.
which is very similar to drunken noodles. I also like Pad See Ew.
Patsy, I just like that thick rice noodle.
Yes,
The big thick and the thicker, like not thick, like the wider,
Yes.
the width. Thin and wide is if I can. The thinner and
my
wider I
nickname in
can
high
get a
school.
noodle. That was. Oh yeah.
yeah. Like the ones at Blue are just, I mean, gee, like over an inch wide at least.
Yeah.
They're wide boys.
Hell yeah. Excellent.
Yeah, noodle talk.
I'm so fucking hungry right now.
My mom
Damn
makes
it!
a
I haven't
thing.
eaten in like 14 hours.
All I've been doing is eating and feeding a baby.
Nourishing.
Yes. I got the steak and mushroom pizza at Flicks last night. I never been a movie by myself guy. And now I'm like, oh, I've been missing out because this ain't bad at all.
Yeah.
What are you losing out on?
Nothing at
Except for after the movie.
You
we're
want to talk?
I need to fucking talk to somebody about Deadpool Wolverine. I want to talk to you guys about it. I went home, I fucking woke Sarah and the baby up, and I was like, I need to tell you guys something.
It's an emergency.
Meryl, are you listening?
Yes. I've got an emergency, and I was like, Sarah, you're not going to believe it. Like, this guy was in it, and this guy was in it, and then this guy died. Oh, man. And she was like, okay. She's like, I'm glad you liked it. I was like, I fucking loved it.
I'm gonna go back to just having had a child now.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. There's a reason I tried to name her Tolverine.
That's right.
You know, and it stuck after I saw the movie.
I like the going to movies alone. It does.
There's
suck
nothing
to-
wrong with it.
Yeah, it does suck to not have someone to talk about it immediately after.
It's just a
with.
different
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't like to go alone. I don't think I'd like to go alone in a super crowded theater.
No,
That's why
'Cause then you look
Sunday
like a
night
loser.
at 10 was nice. And then you're just like, I don't want to sit next to people really.
Yeah.
I don't.
I'm fucking alone.
yeah, I'm trying to vape secretly. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Trying to blow it under the.
yeah, and I did. Nice. That was nice. And yeah, it was cool. There was some. Saw the Beetlejuice trailer.
I was going
on
to
the
say,
big
what
screen.
trailers were there in front of that?
Beetlejuice. What were? I was so excited to be there. I'm trying to.
Can't even remember any of
Yeah,
them.
I'm still. Beetlejuice doesn't really give you a taste of whether or not it's going to be good, but I am excited to see it.
Yeah. There's hope. There's some promise.
And
there.
Tim Burton did direct it.
Really?
But yeah, he did. He did. So I can't even recall
Sure
what the
about
other.
that?
I am, because I was like, oh wait, he did direct it.
They
I've
didn't,
been
they didn't put the credit, but from the mind of.
No,
From the twisted,
Yes.
dark ass mind.
yeah,
You're like,
Tim
oh, that means
Burton,
someone
director of
else,
Dumbo.
someone else is taking this bullshit
Oh,
over.
okay,
Dumbo.
Yeah. He fucking did direct Dumbo.
Yeah, and it was very dark for
Yeah.
Dumbo, especially.
I don't think I never.
I saw it in theaters.
You
I
did.
forgot that even happened.
Yeah.
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 Disney's
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
remake of Dumbo.
From the
Tim
director
Burton.
of the CGI Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
Like,
That nobody likes.
Yeah. Made a shitload of money. though.
world.
Did they
Yeah.
quit making those remakes of the big Disney movies? Are they still coming out?
There's
thought there hasn't been one in a
some
minute.
there hasn't. They make a shitload of money though, so I guarantee they'll keep making them. The Little Mermaid didn't make. Everybody was like, we don't like black ladies, so they didn't go. So they didn't go see the Little Mermaid, and it made less than the rest, which is kind of fucked up. But I saw it. I enjoyed it. I thought Melissa McCarthy made a pretty good Ursula,
Yeah.
and the girl was a good Ariel.
I always felt like they should have made it Lil Mermaid. Lil.
No one would have complained about that.
Nope.
It's a Little Mermaid.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, there
feel
might have
like-
been a trailer for one of those, but I can't. I don't know.
Because you liked the Jungle Book, but I feel like
I fucking loved the Jungle Book.
I feel like I didn't hear much about the Lion King. Like, despite,
It wasn't that good, and they didn't make. You can't really make a photorealistic lion emote even with CGI, so you're not like you weren't as invested
Right.
in it.
you got to give it like eyebrows. Or
Yeah,
something.
because even though they were photorealistic in the Jungle Book, it was photorealistic but fictionalized versions of animals. You know, does that make sense?
Oh yeah, no, I know exactly what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah. And that worked better.
It's like the same thing that made Cats suck, I guess, right?
dude, Cats. Oh,
You see
God.
Cats?
I watched Cats. I watched that. It was on HBO or something, and I finally watched it, and I was like,
well.
"What the fuck were they thinking making this?" It was unfucking believable. Like you made them CGI, but you also kept them people.
That's
So you
right.
made CGI
It's the worst of both
miniature cat
worlds.
people. Why didn't you make them fucking cats? If you're gonna do it, just make them cats.
Right.
Don't make them weird, genderless, no genital CGI cat freaks. Why didn't you just put makeup on them?
Put big dicks on them.
Right, yeah, or just make
Yeah.
them, just give them the makeup. You made them look like they were exactly the cats from the show, but instead of using makeup, you
But made it
CGI'd
creepy and
it.
bad.
Yeah.
It was beyond fucking weird. And also, I thought I sort of knew the story of what Cats was,
Oh,
and I did not. And I was like, why do people like this hunk of garbage so much?
it was like
What's
the
the
number
premise?
one
the
musical.
magical Mr. Mistopheles. Like, what the fuck?
It was
Yeah.
like the number one musical in the 80s.
ran forever.
Like
Yeah.
and like, I remember seeing commercials in Iowa. In
came
the
through
80s.
all the time. Came through once a year.
Cats, the greatest Broadway hit ever. You've
Yeah.
never seen a show like this. And it's ridiculous and stupid. It's just a stupid story.
It was a Andrew Lloyd Webber.
all the
joint.
cats come together to elect a new main cat, and the cats are singing, and
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
And there's
So what's
a
the
magical
premise?
Cat. I don't fucking know. I can't even
The
explain
alley
it.
cats all come together to elect
The
the new
leader.
main cat,
Yeah.
and then they live forever. I don't fucking know.
There was a magic one. A bad Idris Elba was like a bad one.
Mr. Mistopheles,
Yeah,
Rum Tum Tugger. I don't know.
yeah. I
It's
would've
all
been
stupid.
Rum
Rum
Tum
Tum Tugger.
My nickname in high school.
That was my nickname as an adult. Old Rum Tum is tugging
Rum
it
Tum
again.
Tugger.
I remember.
yeah.
I mean, it must have been huge. I remember at least a few of the like Disney movies that got a lot of play at my family's abode. advertised like Cats the Musical
Yeah.
on VHS. Get now.
Yeah, and that was that was the VHS of the play.
Yeah.
Like,
Which
it
is
was
like
not a movie. It was
debatably the worst thing of watching a musical or theater filmed is the worst looking thing of all
I
time.
remember didn't they used to have like Peter Pan, the musical, with people on TV like once a year.
Yeah.
It makes you
a
realize
girl,
how stupid it is.
the famous woman or the woman
Sandy
that was
Duncan.
yeah, famous for playing Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Like you're like, this woman is 55 years old. What the fuck are we doing here?
I'm Peter.
Yeah.
yeah.
I love kids.
Like Jesus Christ. Yeah.
You're not a boy and you don't live forever. You're an old white lady.
Yeah.
You can fly, you can fly. All right, Peter Pan. I think
Very
all that
odd.
shit is kind of like that shit was big. All the OG Disney movies from like before me, like Peter Pan, Mary Poppins, Pinocchio, Dumbo.
They used to bring them all
Those
out.
were all huge. Like like my parents grew up on those,
Wow.
and they kept milking it into like my childhood. And they're still like
Because they
I think
used
they're
to-
starting to give up on the Snow White, Cinderella.
yeah.
They remade those recently.
Snow White's about to come out. It hasn't come. And there
Oh, it
was-
hasn't?
Remember, because the Dink has got a real problem with them having dwarves.
Oh, you're right. That's
Yeah, and it's not
so
out
yes,
yet.
they are
Yeah,
making them.
they
That's,
are.
that's the one.
Yeah.
I prefer the Dink.
Yeah. That's right. All the Dinkheads are upset
They are.
on his behalf.
He is great in Game of Thrones.
He's a great actor. There's no denying.
I've been getting a lot of the Dink lately because
Yeah.
of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So.
He's a good fucking actor and a handsome
is.
fella.
I saw him live that one time.
Yeah, you did.
Recently.
Fucking blew your mind.
It did.
What were the eye wearing a black cat shirt?
Yeah.
Whew.
Not one of these, but
Fucking mind blowing.
he marched out from. So I saw Seth Meyers' show in New York City.
Yeah.
The late night show, Late Night with Seth Meyers, and the guest happened to be the Dink. I'm like, I'm gonna see this guy for real.
Right.
So it was fine time for him to come out, and he walked out backstage. I'm like, damn, that dude is little.
Yeah, and he was
And
like,
then he
little,
opened his
actually
little
quite
jacket up and
hilarious.
flashed a black hat on a t-shirt, and I had an edible, so I was like,
Am I Peter Dinklage?
yeah.
Is he here for me?
We're all here for you, Alex. Everyone starts
Okay.
turning their head towards you.
"Oh, okay."
I mean, that would be fucking great.
Yeah, it'd be
It was
intense.
weird. Yeah, it was weird.
Were you charmed by the Dink as you watched on? Do they like broadcast their conversation out loud through a PA to you, the audience? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, so they have it's a smaller set crew than you would think.
okay.
So like there's one dude, a cameraman with a camera that it's mobile. They push around. Camera guy, producer, script guy, like an assistant running around. That's kind of it.
Weird.
But yeah, it's clearly something they all do every day. Is a very well oiled machine.
Right.
Right.
But yeah, it was strange to watch it live because I assumed there'd be lots of like cuts and like edits and like, all right, we're taking a break now. No, they ran through the whole thing. No
Oh.
stopping.
Oh yeah, because it's not live.
And it's not
They're
live.
taping it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess if you
But
really
it's live to you,
Yeah.
kind of.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
But so they had like screens up, like 20 different screens up all around. And you could see what the TV would see, like the graphics they would put up or whatever,
Right.
and the sound coming in. So you hear it's. I mean,
Like, are you in the same room as them?
yeah, you're the audience.
Okay,
you're in a
so
little.
there's
You
a
said he
live
was
audience.
like 15 feet away from you, right?
Yeah, I was right in the middle,
Yeah.
towards the front, like,
Yeah.
Wow.
but it's all right there. I mean, you're sitting inside. It's like you're sitting inside of a talk show. You're like, yep, this is it.
Right. You're like, that edible's hitting right
Yep.
now. Holy shit.
Did I crawl in the TV?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you see Alex like walking in
Yeah,
the shot.
just like
Looking around.
He trips over a piece of furniture.
is this real?
Des Moines, man. Has full mental breakdown at late night with Seth Meyers. That'd be cool, though. Yeah, I mean, wow. I saw Thomas Lennon, Lieutenant Dangle from Reno 911 at a museum in Los Angeles one time, and I felt like I knew him.
Oh yeah,
it was really weird. I mean, granted, with your situation, you were at a show, so you knew like you were at a show,
right?
But I saw him in the even that guy who would not be really a major celebrity to most people. I loved Reno 911, so I was like,
oh yeah,
he's been around in so many things for so long too.
Yeah, and even like I haven't watched all of Game of Thrones. I had like what you did with Tiger King. I'm watching it later now, but even I know who Peter Dinklage is.
Yeah.
I would be awestruck.
And it was clear that
because you go, "Aw."
It's clear that the Dink had a big comb over as well.
Oh, he does wear hats a lot, and
he has. If you see him on TV, you're like, wow, that's a lot of hair. Like, all right, like I think he's a few years older than me. And when you see him in person, you're like, oh, there's a bunch of hair pieces and a bunch of weird shit going on.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like if you were to go like that to him, you'd be like, oh, you have a receding hairline like everyone else does. But he has it all.
He tossles it
combed forward. Oh, yes. A very like, oh, I just woke up and went like this type of hairstyle. But there's like 3 people backstage being like,
right. All right.
Each hair is here. It's all.
Yeah.
Hollywood, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I saw a thing with Kevin Bacon saying, because we're talking about famous people and how much sometimes they complain about being famous, you know, like, oh, what a burden being famous is. And then Kevin Bacon did this, he like put on a bunch of makeup and like a prosthetic nose and like did all this stuff. And then went out to like an outdoor mall in LA or New York or something. And he got done. He's like, man, that fucking sucked.
No one's smiling at me.
No one recognized me. I had to wait in line for everything. I was like, I really appreciated hearing an honest take and being like, being famous is pretty cool for the most part.
Right.
You know?
A lot of
like,
ups.
don't act like it's fucking. I'm sure it is hard to some degree, but there's also plenty of benefits.
Yeah.
To go with it.
Oh yeah.
You know?
I would assume so. Because I can tell you that not having those benefits has completely sucked.
I know that much.
Yes. I'm gonna assume it's better that way.
If I went to the Chinese restaurant and I was 42 having a baby and I was famous, they would not have been shocked.
They'd have been like, "Oh, Toll, you're so young,
so young and handsome."
Yes. They still say that.
Yes.
Give you 4 pounds of chicken fried rice for free for the baby.
That's right.
I'm excited. There are a couple casseroles waiting for me at home. And if I ran out of all my junk of what we currently have,
the casseroles is there like different kinds?
There's like a chicken and stuffing casserole.
Oh,
which I'm pretty fucking
Daddy
excited.
I can't believe you're even here right now.
I know. And then there's
just let him at it.
a huge like shepherd's pie.
Oh,
it's very exciting. And my sister made. I mentioned how much I liked the fish soup she used to make, which is essentially a potato chowder with a bunch of fish in it, and the secret ingredient is AE dip. Oh, buddy, it's so fucking good.
Like French onion dip?
Yeah, like pick your dip.
Sour cream.
Yeah.
Party dip? Ooh.
Yeah. And man, oh man, is it good. I've had 2 massive bowls of it today.
Keeping your dad's strength up.
That's right. Gotta see how much weight I can gain in 6 weeks. Yeah. Go back to Confluence in a fucking wheelchair. I'm here to move some keg.
We're gonna have to put you on the phone.
Yeah.
Get told like a little headset. Thank you for calling Confluence. he's doing his nails. He's like, no, we don't.
We don't have that one anymore.
I'm actually on my break right now.
Oh, that would be fucking awesome.
No, we don't clean lines anymore.
At least I don't.
Yeah, but they miss you over there, boy.
I guarantee it. Yeah.
Not just from a workload aspect.
Right.
I bet they miss seeing your cheery demeanor.
Well, you know, me and the D boys we like to hang out after work and complain and whatnot and converse. It is nice. It's nice. But otherwise, I'm alone all day, every day.
Do you trade like
Carrying shit.
war stories when you get
Absolutely.
back where you're like, man, you wouldn't have believed the lines
Yeah.
I cleaned today.
Yep.
You wouldn't believe El Pollo Loco.
Absolutely.
Someone shit in the fryer.
Yeah. All kinds of stuff. But
Legends of the D-Boys.
yep. Yep. Yep.
Will you deliver beer? Like, does it have to be to a business? Like, if I ordered it,
Yeah, we had during the pandemic, we were doing house calls, but it takes, you have to order it then through the tap room. It's like you get a discount for being not a discount. There's like a wholesale price.
right?
But you have to buy 18 cases.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Can't just get a 6-pack.
yeah. I was just wondering if I could, if someone like wanted to buy a keg.
But I will, anybody
Des Moines
listening to
IPA,
this
you know?
that loves Des Moines IPA, go buy that shit in Grimes. There's a couple of Casey's that never change their prices. So there's $9 4-packs of Des Moines IPA at a couple Casey's and Grimes, which is almost worth the drive because
I
it's
had a
like
breaking news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, goddamn,
it's still $8.99. I was like, you guys they're barely making a profit at that point.
Speaking from personal experience, 4 is plenty.
4 will do you good.
Oh, God.
4 will do you good.
Maybe 9 is good.
I ran into a guy that said he was drinking. I said it's when I had quit drinking. I was like, yeah, no, I don't drink anymore, which is currently true. But anyway, and he told me he was drinking 9 Des Moines IPAs a day, and I was like,
Oh, my God.
first of all, that is
God
a
damn.
very expensive drinking habit.
Yes.
Second of all, the amount of calories
Yes.
involved there is just off the fucking
Yeah.
charts.
Oh,
and then the amount of alcohol, I was like, damn, dog,
Yeah.
you are
9 a
getting
day?
fucked up.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're getting fucking wasted.
Yes.
Most all I ever was 2, and I'm like, woo.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
They'll-
feeling it.
I'm
man.
They'll
full
do ya.
and I'm drunk.
Yeah.
9?
Yeah. And I was just like, damn, that sounds gross.
Yeah.
yeah.
Have you ever heard of Paramount
Yeah. No
Rum?
shit,
Yeah.
dude. Save yourself some money.
Wow.
in calories?
Yeah.
Just sheer amount of liquid.
And just that much IPA.
Oh, I've never.
I like IPAs.
I like IPAs too, and like 3, that means I'm done.
Yeah.
Yes.
Usually I'll have
to
1.
where-
Sometimes
No
2.
sex tonight, honey.
Yeah, sorry, I've been IPA'd.
Yeah.
I'm gonna puke on the bathroom floor
Yeah.
for a while.
I'm going to be pissing and farting all night,
Yeah.
so don't mind me.
My PP has been IPA.
yes.
Sarah, you're gonna need to change my diaper. Get those little legs up. You got to wipe away.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't get any in my vagina, please.
That's right.
Yeah.
I learned that from my nieces. Shout out to my nieces' vaginas. I wiped. I changed their diapers a couple times.
Yeah. Wipe away.
Yeah. Wipe away.
Right.
Don't wipe in.
Don't want anybody getting
Yeah.
septic or whatever it is.
No yeast infections or God knows whatever else.
It is crazy lifting a little human by their 2 tiny little legs and being like, someday you will be an adult. Right now, you're just like a little person larva
Yep.
that can't do nothing but be cute.
Not a damn thing.
Yeah.
Someday a
look
man's
around.
going to hold up your legs like this for a different reason.
Oh no! I know. I think about that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, that's going to be.
Right.
But a friend of mine that I thought would not be able to handle that at all has handled it so well. His daughter becoming an adult or becoming a,
Oh yeah.
a sexual being. Because what are you going to do? You can't do anything about it.
I'm going to call the
You can be
cops.
you can be
Yeah.
like a dickhead, or you can be
Right.
fucking cool. And
Yeah, that's when the rubber really hits the road.
Yeah.
Like my kids are 19 and 22.
Yeah.
It's like,
They've probably had sex.
yeah. Gross.
you haven't told me, but
Bing bong, bing
you're my
bong.
child.
Yeah.
So
Does it bother? I mean, you don't have, but like the daughter versus son, is it still like a thing
No.
for you? Was it ever?
no.
Good. I hope to be that way also.
To not like be extra protective with the
Right.
daughter.
Not to
yeah.
be like this sitcom dad holding the cleaning my
I
shotgun.
thought
or
Danny
whatever.
actually had great advice on that.
Yeah.
on the podcast where he was
Talk,
I
be
think-
cool.
Yeah, where he was just like, I think it was on the podcast.
It was.
Yeah, where he was like,
think.
basically, don't treat them different.
Yeah,
or
that's like the
whatever.
way to be. Like I've always been just like real.
Yeah.
Just like this is what I'm really thinking. I'm not like putting on airs of like, oh well,
Yeah.
I don't know, like
I think
yeah, weed's okay, Be careful. Don't do any powders, children, please.
Yeah.
Have fun, but be safe.
Yeah. And I would be like, dad
Raw
had-
dogging is awesome. Trust me.
That's why
Dad
you're here.
knows.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Just maybe don't do that
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah. Or,
Yeah, little babies become real people,
yeah.
and that's the whole point.
Yep.
So you can't fight it. You're just like, okay, yep. You're like a real
It's a beautiful
adult
thing. I
now.
mean, yeah, our parents had to
It
do that
is.
for us.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I remember
it was a
coming
strange
back,
moment.
like you're like 21, you're like, you go back to your parents, like, hey, what's up? Be like, I'm gonna grab a beer.
Yeah.
You're like, smell that, Dad. Right.
There's that weird moment, and they're like, yep. And you're like, right? We're all good here.
Sex is
Yeah.
pretty cool, am I
Yeah.
right, folks?
So I was fucking my girlfriend. Oh,
You know what I'm talking about, Dad?
yeah.
Yikes.
Yikes. But that could be you and your daughter, which would be a beautiful thing. If
Yeah.
She was like, Dad, I fucked so good last night. And you're like, that, me too.
Yeah, that's pretty gross.
Pretty
but,
gross.
Yeah.
We're too close.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
You,
Tell your mom about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can't
Or
hang
don't,
out
you know.
anymore.
Yeah. It'll be, yeah. I'll be open. I mean, yeah, this is,
It's good.
yeah.
We're all doing great.
Yep.
100%.
Everybody's having sex and we're doing great.
What have you been up to, AJ? You don't have teehees anymore. So
Yeah.
what have you been doing? What have you been filling your time with? We have kids over here. You got none. So what's up?
Yeah, that's a fair point. I got whipped up into a frenzy last night, and I was like, you know what I should start doing at 10 p.m. I should recock the old bathtub.
Oh, are you serious?
I did, and I was I don't know why. I was just staring at it, and my landlord.
That's like a phantom dad thing happening inside of you.
Yes,
Yeah.
You know what's funny is that
I'm
earlier tonight, talking about the pandemic and thinking about it, I enjoy it. How hard was that for you? Because you have to always be doing something, right?
Oh,
Am I crazy?
How was the pandemic hard
Yeah,
for me?
yeah.
Honestly, no. I remember.
Or did you give yourself a break?
No, it was one of those things where because everyone got shut down, like
Yeah.
all of a sudden,
yeah.
none of us were able to do anything. That
It's cool to do nothing.
Yes, that alleviated me.
I have a master's degree in it.
yes,
Dr. Toll McGrain.
Yes. Doctor of nothing.
So you don't have a doctorate? No, I do. It's in nothing.
Yeah.
It's a thing. Nothing is something. It's the best thing.
shit. What the fuck were we just talking about?
The view during the pandemic.
Yeah, me during the pandemic. Oh no, that basically. Oh, I'm really losing it.
Bing bong, bing bong.
Oh, third time.
Grab onto it. Latch onto that thought.
It's an oily
Laugh for that
Let it go.
No. So I was the type of person that if the world was still running, I had a hard time justifying taking a break for myself because I felt guilty. I felt like I wasn't doing enough. All my value came from like the work I was putting out. But if the world was put at a standstill, which it was, then it was like, well, I can't do work even if I wanted to.
Right. I can't. My hands are tied.
My hands are tied. It's now out of my control. I guess like it being in control, me being in control of whether or not I was working or stopping working gave me guilt.
Right.
Or of some sort if I didn't work.
Yeah.
Right.
So then, the pandemic, I remember up until maybe close to the end of summer, I thought it was like the greatest thing ever. I remember like a no sleep got canceled, which was sad at first, but it was still one of those things where,
Very freeing.
yeah, I mean, I just suddenly like could do other stuff. But then I think, yeah, by the time the winter kicked in, I remember that was the very first time I'd ever experienced seasonal depression.
Oh yeah.
I in my whole life never had a problem with like the seasons changing. I liked it. It gave my schedule normalcy or something, or there was a life and death to like the season. I don't know.
That was
that
rough.
first winter was like long and brutally cold.
Yeah.
Just a
too.
dark, cold, lonely winter. For
It felt like it was never going to fucking end.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yep. And that was the first time I'd ever felt that. And then now it's been like something I've been like fighting through ever since, which is weird that something
just kicked it off.
Yeah, just like something suddenly
Fighting through like relaxing.
Depression.
The seasonal depression.
Gotcha,
thing, sorry.
gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, which is weird because it was just one of those things where it didn't come on gradually. It just felt like all of a sudden it was there, almost a little bit like eating food or my palate changing or something,
Right.
where there wasn't like a watershed moment that made me fall in love with mushrooms or something.
Right.
It was like suddenly they just started smelling better to me. And then, I tried them and then I liked them.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Right.
Good job, AJ.
Just but it was in a negative way. Yeah. It was like, emotionally you were like, happiness doesn't smell that great to me anymore during the winter.
Yeah.
I prefer this.
I'm burrowing in.
Yeah.
Or just suddenly that my palate changed, that my mind was now open to seasonal depression, and it wasn't all those years before. Like it couldn't even get in there if it wanted. It just
Right.
like bounced off the.
There's room.
Yeah.
There's room for some new activities.
Yeah. My older brain had atrophied a little down and it's kind of squeaked in.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. I guess it was cool for like the first little while, but then eventually it became really hard. And then I remember I did like the little clothing run.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just as something to do, but that was really a manifestation of like pretty hardcore depression that I was like new to, and then also realizing that I desperately needed like a routine or something.
Right.
Yeah, I found that out pretty quickly that what it's all rooted in, who the fuck knows? I guess that's what my therapy dollars will be going towards. But yeah, yeah.
yeah. I got you,
I
man.
went to a fugue state for a second,
Yeah.
but you betcha.
4 years ago.
That is crazy.
That is crazy.
I don't even think about it most of the time. Somebody's like, "Oh yeah, the pandemic." Like, oh yeah.
I think it took until I think things are finally starting to feel normal again. Oh shit.
Yeah, I think
Or-
like the last 2 summers have been pretty good.
Yeah. But I've still felt pretty fucking weird ever since. And now I'm starting
Yeah, I
to
think like
kinda-
there's so much shit going on now with the election and all the wildness that we haven't had time to deal with our national trauma
Right.
of COVID.
Yeah.
Like it's a bell that got rung in all of our heads and no one's really dealt with it and we're all kind of fucked up, especially younger kids and stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's just like, yeah, like we just been like that. All that happened for a year, like the whole pandemic and shutdown and everything, and being frightened of leaving your house and all that. And then we started eking our way out, and life has just gotten crazier ever since. We've had no time to
Very
sit and be
true.
like, I think we're all kind of fucked up about
Right.
this.
I just said things are getting back to normal, even though America is more fucked up than it's ever been.
But you can go out
But I
and
mean,
do
like,
stuff.
Yeah.
right.
And even that came and went, where like there were times where suddenly it was open for the summer and everything seemed okay, and like festivals were almost happening again.
Yeah.
And then it would start to ramp up, like more COVID cases would start in the fall and winter.
I can remember like when COVID happened and it was, we're all counting numbers every day for months, counting the deaths and infections and all this. And the smart doctor people are like, yeah, like at some point, like we'll get immunity to it for the most part. It'll dissipate, but it'll just always be around. People
Yep.
will just be getting COVID. And now we're in that place where like, oh, someone else is like, oh, I can't, whatever. I got COVID. You're like, oh, okay. And they're like, yeah, I'll see you in a
soon.
few days. And
Yeah.
like, no big deal.
Yeah.
Where before we're all like, I have COVID. Oh, my brother has COVID. And we're gonna, and now it's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, I got the flu. Except for before when we had the flu, we'd be like, yeah, I'm still out here. That's not
Right.
the flu.
Yeah.
Right.
But now if you have COVID, you stay home.
Right.
You know?
I'm not going to not go to the bachelor party.
Right.
Yeah.
I got a sniffle.
I
so
mean,
who
it
gives a fuck?
depends. It depends, but yeah. I got COVID was I had COVID. It was fucking horrible. I was about to go on a little vacation.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
you were like
God.
literally like about to walk.
I was I was in Target buying stuff to go on the vacation, and I was like, I feel a little chilly, like a little cold
little
sweat.
anxious.
Yeah, where can a guy like me find a little COVID? And I found it, and it was fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Truly awful. Like the worst I've felt from an illness in a long time.
Yeah, I would say same.
Yeah.
It might be the worst. I remember I blew up my air mattress and put it out in the living room just so I could watch the big TV and
wallow around.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I had it
Yeah.
twice, and it was nothing both times.
I felt like my fucking legs were going to, my legs hurt so bad the first night. I was like, I haven't heard of this. My legs feel like they're going to fucking burn off my body. It was insane.
Like they're going to get knocked off in a zip line.
Yeah. Then I'm going to be the coolest guy on Tiger King. I was walking around on them a few days and be like, oh, they're going to have to remove these things. That was fucking crazy. But yeah, I felt like shit. Wait. Good stuff.
Makes sense.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a crazy time. Well, even your fair question of asking me, did it affect my life? Which clearly it did. The
Yeah.
moral of the story was that I learned basically not only what seasonal depression was,
Right.
and that, but also how important routines were.
Right.
But even as someone, I guess I fall on that workaholic side. You were still going out every night too. When we were still open, you know what I mean? Like you were at a mic, you were at a show.
Yeah.
We talked about this all the time where it affected.
I haven't done it since.
Yeah, where it's like you, I would argue,
It
never
fucked me
came
up,
back
but I didn't.
to the being out on the town.
Yeah.
Obviously, the not drinking changes some of that too, but
Yeah.
you have been drinking at times once back from
Right.
the pandemic.
Still
you know?
didn't.
Yeah, you never came all the way back.
Well, I
Not
mean,
even
once
close.
you get that fucking rush of being like, I don't have to fucking go to open mics. This is nice. Yeah. Like these things fucking suck, turns out. Yeah. Like, but then you also are like, oh, why isn't anyone putting me on shows? Like, because you don't go to any fucking open mics. That's why.
And then what do you fill that time with becomes the other thing too.
Watching
Nachos.
TV.
Right. No, but I was more thinking the drinking side of things too.
Right,
Whatever,
right,
drinking
right.
at home,
Yeah.
watching stuff at home,
Yeah.
watching Kong Skull Island 35
Yeah.
times,
Yeah.
things like that. That was
Quite
out of
stuff.
love, actually, but yeah,
Yeah. It was, and
yeah,
I haven't come back, I guess.
yeah. I mean, I
Most
think-
people haven't in a lot of ways. That's
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like shit changed, and we're all like, okay, and then we're all in hell because of all the shit that's happening in our society.
Yeah.
You know, we just stepped over that rock and just kept walking, and we're all fucked up.
Yeah.
Well, I think you're correct too. That like why I was bringing up the toll example was that it, like we were all forever changed too
Yeah.
because of it, like biologically, possibly by like this virus or whatever, and then also just like mentally.
Where
emotionally.
I was literally doing something 5 or 6 nights a week.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I really, if 2 podcasts, 2 open mics, generally, probably a comedy show. If I wasn't in one, I'd go to them.
yeah.
And now I'm like, if I'm not in one, see you fucking later. No, I'll go to the local boys comedy shows.
But it's not like it used to be
But,
for
yeah.
anyone, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think anywhere, even like even the restaurant and bar industry, everyone is still talking about that. Like there's this malaise.
Well, it's true. Even like
These people aren't coming back people aren't going out like they were 4 years
the
ago.
Windsor Heights Hy-Vee used to be open till midnight, and the Windsor Heights Walmart used to be 24/7, and now that isn't true anywhere.
Yeah, I feel like it was the standard to be 24/7.
Yeah.
Like I felt
yeah.
every McDonald's in a city at least was 24/7.
Yeah.
Where it's now the McDonald's on
Yeah.
Forest on the way downtown for me, they're bragging, basically being like, "We're open to 2 a.m. now."
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Which is crazy compared to most places, you know. But at one point, that would have been laughable.
Yeah,
Like,
it changed all.
Well,
of that.
COVID happened, and the people that work those jobs were like, I don't think I'm going to do that anymore.
Yeah, everyone.
And they're like, no, you have to come back, and you're not getting a raise. And I'm like, nah, I don't think I'm coming back.
That's what. This is
hear me out.
kind of
I'm not
random.
coming back.
Yeah, but
Or
fast food commercials where they show, especially who am I thinking? Like Arby's.
they have the meats, is what I hear.
When it shows like all the people that work there, like Wendy's. When it's like all the camaraderie between these full-grown adult people being like, "Oh man, Wendy's is coming out with a new whatever." And they're like, "Oh yeah, have you tried the mix and match?" Blah blah blah, and they all work there. I'm like, don't make these commercials as if people fucking love working at Wendy's.
They specifically do not.
Yes, there is no fucking way, and don't pretend that they do.
Yeah.
You know, no one loves working at Wendy's. Period.
Yeah.
They should do it like those Sarah McLachlan commercials where it's like the black and white footage
The
of,
arms
of like
up.
a,
Yes.
of a puppy or
Come
whatever.
to Wendy's.
Yeah.
Help
Sad
these
guy making
fuckers out.
fries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want some Wendy's?
Yeah.
Come on, keep our location open. Yeah.
That would fall under my new business honesty plan I've been working on this
It would.
podcast.
Absolutely.
Right.
I also think about fast food workers when all the fast food restaurants were like, now we're doing breakfast.
Yeah.
Imagine if you worked at Taco Bell and they're like, hey, Steve, we're going to start opening at 5 a.m. We're going to need you in.
4:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to need you in here at 4:30. Like, please fucking kill me now. Yeah. Like, I think about whenever Wendy's added breakfast, Taco Bell added breakfast. I don't know who, but those are the two big ones where I was like, if I've worked there, I would be like, go fuck yourself. You think I'm coming in here any earlier than I already do?
I work here for one reason and one reason
Yeah.
only. We don't have breakfast.
Yeah.
Now you gotta throw this breakfast shit on me.
Yeah.
I used to love working breakfast at McDonald's.
That's my first job, was working breakfast at McDonald's.
I think it's a good shift. I think it's a respectable shift. I loved that feeling of walking out of the McDonald's as the people working that like lunch dinner rush shift
Yeah.
came in.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like
Yep.
it looked like a scene from Band of Brothers where you're like the guys coming back from the front
Yeah.
line.
And
Limping.
they're
missing
fucking
an
all
arm.
rolling down, just rolling down the
We're all,
street.
you just kind of look at them
Yeah.
like, you don't even know.
Yeah. What time did you guys have to go in?
It was pretty early. I think it was like maybe 6 a.m. or something.
Oh, it was. I think it was 5, if not
Yeah,
before.
depending
So
on
I
what
worked
your
like
station
5 to
was.
noon. So work through breakfast and
Yeah.
then get the fuck out of there.
And breakfast is crazy. And I would argue it's maybe one of the toughest because it's the most amount of old people who tend to be the people who
forever.
ask for no salt. They're slow and
They
they're
want
very
their free
picky.
coffee.
Yeah, they want free shit. They hang out way too long as well. They loiter.
Oh, especially in Boone.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true.
Boone had
Everywhere, but-
had like the best McDonald's in the region. So like all of Midwest.
You know what's funny? Was it the one on that main drag coming into town?
Yeah.
That, I will say, that is a fucking good McDonald's.
Yeah.
Cyclone fries.
To
Yeah.
this day,
We had the
it's
sci-fi,
still-
yeah.
It something. I'm like, damn, this McDonald's is always on
It's
point.
bussin'.
Yes, it's fast,
Yeah.
and the food is always solid. Like, you don't get a fucking cheese half off your McDouble. You know,
No, sir.
it's always on their square.
Not on
baby.
my watch.
Yeah.
We're on a tight ship here at Boone.
Yeah. I liked that job actually. If it wasn't sort of looked down upon, I might have went to Hamburger University,
Yeah.
I went. A friend of mine,
which is a real thing, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, a friend of mine I went to a radio broadcasting school with, a Des Moines native. He
Did he go to
worked at
HU?
McDonald's. He did.
HU.
Became a manager, and he fucking loved it.
Alex
He liked
Schreiber,
it. Yeah.
Hamburger University.
The NFL draft.
The H.
Yeah. That's right.
Hamburger.
Yeah. Go Hamburgers. Alex Hamburger University.
Alonzo Hamburger Jones is their actual mascot.
He runs out for the first game, has a heart attack, dies.
There's a movie. Did you ever a movie with Dick Butkus in it about Hamburger?
Hamburger the movie?
Yeah. No, about the university.
Oh,
I don't know if it's about McDonald's, but it's like called.
I would love to see the
Hamburger
campus.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they have one.
And when I worked at McDonald's at breakfast, my boss, the manager, had gone to Hamburger University.
You have
she
to, I
took
think, don't
everything
you?
very seriously.
Oh yeah, that's what
You don't make it to manage a McDonald's if you don't take that shit seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you think about the sheer volume and everything, it does have to be a pretty tight ship.
Oh,
And when
Oh,
it
no.
isn't, you know.
yeah.
It is Hamburger, the motion picture.
Is it?
It is.
Yeah.
Literally, colon, the
I
motion
love that
picture.
movie.
Do you really?
Yep.
Yeah.
It was one of those late night TBS movies that they play in the 80s.
You know, if Dick Butkus is getting second billing, it's a high quality flick.
Yeah.
You haven't heard of Lee McCloskey? Don't know who that is.
Yep.
Randy Brooks, Chuck McCann.
An all-star cast.
Yes, sir.
Hamburger the movie.
Yeah, and they say if you like this, you might like Hot Dog the movie.
That's a skiing movie, though.
Yes, it is. It is. You might like Taking Care of Business, starring James Belushi, or you might like Born in East L.A., starring Cheech Marin.
Oh, those are bad movies. Even by 80s standards.
Oh, but also you might like a Very Brady sequel, which was actually pretty fucking funny.
Is that the one that has like fully implied incest and shit in it?
Yes,
That's
they
what I
both
thought.
do.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not.
Those
I
were
mean,
good movies.
They're funny, man. They are
Yeah.
funny. And the second one has Tim Matheson trying to get that Hawaiian statue, and Alice eats his mushrooms out of his bag or whatever.
Yeah.
And then she walks into the refrigerator. So funny.
Yeah.
She's like, I had some of your mushrooms. He's like, are you okay? And then she just walks into the fridge. That's what I remember the most.
I remember
Or this is a car, Jack. Like, yeah, it is a car, but my name isn't Jack.
that was one of those movies where I have these like strange, like foggy memories of where you get a little TV and it would run off the cigarette lighter thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Back before there was the USB plugs and all
Yep.
that shit. But whenever it'd be like a little TV that you were able to hot wire kind of into like that,
Yeah.
we'd stick it in between the two like front seats
Oh,
facing us. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
I loved doing
Yes,
that.
and I like so like it would be some weird like lo-fi ASMR part of YouTube if I had like the video in my head that
Yeah.
I could broadcast, you know. But that was one of those movies I remember like just these weird foggy memories of
Yeah.
like falling asleep in the car as a kid and like that being on. Same thing with like Spice World, Romy and Michelle's high school reunion.
Oh, it's a pretty funny movie.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever seen Spice World.
I remember like
I haven't.
yeah, yeah. I think it's called Spice World.
It
Oh,
is.
yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we watched it all the time. My sister kind of had control over what we watched. For the most
Okay.
part. Bring It On.
Oh, yeah. Sounds like your sister was controlling that.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Mine was a lot of Lord of the Rings, not to brag.
Oh,
Of course.
of course.
I remember I bought the Fellowship of the Ring VHS at a Suncoast Video. I was very proud of that. I wish I still had it.
Yeah.
I loved.
Was
remember-
it the HD widescreen version?
I think so.
Oh, that was
You get the letterboxing and everything.
letterboxed.
I remember how big a deal the box set of Star Wars was to me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Huge box sets back in the day.
Yeah. They were monstrous.
Suncoast. Oh, yeah.
I just love Suncoast. It looked like a cool
I
bar.
loved some-
Oh,
yeah.
they had
It was all dark and they had like the red little sign
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah.
had all the movies, DVDs, VHS, action figures.
Yeah, collectibles and
Yeah.
shit. Yeah. It's basically kind of what Jay's CD and hobby kind of is, but with
But it was mainstream at the
And it
time.
was
Yeah.
new.
and it wasn't like board games.
And it was
or
expensive
anything.
as hell.
Yes.
Yeah.
So cool. Yeah. The good old days.
Oof. Suncoast Video.
I looked it up recently. There's still one. The OG is still
Really?
with us. Yes.
Where?
It was in some. I feel like it was Ohio or something.
Because there's like it's still a Blockbuster. There's
Yeah.
like one in Oregon and one in Alaska or something like that. I wish you could still fucking rent movies. Now I got the internet now. I guess I'm okay. Probably.
Yeah.
But
Things done change.
I do like having a physical copy of a movie that I love. I do like to own it.
Looks like there's 3 left actually.
Three
Blockbusters?
Suncoast?
3 Suncoast. Suncoast Motion Picture Company. Founded in Minnesota. Interesting.
I guarantee that will come back. Like
Suncoast?
physical video will come back like records did.
Yeah, I think we were getting real close to
Yeah.
that, to there being actual more video stores
Yeah.
out there.
And people are
I hope
collecting.
so.
I mean, AJ is. People are collecting VHS now.
Yeah.
Which I sort of doesn't make. I'm like, this is a low quality.
Yeah,
I've mainly migrated to Blu-rays now.
Right. Yeah.
But-
like collecting vinyl makes sense because it is a high quality.
High fidelity,
Sound.
yeah.
Still, it's old technology, but it's still a good technology. But
Yeah.
like VHS, like no, you're getting no
Yeah.
benefit from
No,
this.
it's a magnetic. It's a magnetic strip that wears out a little more every single time you
Yeah.
use it.
I
Or
pretty
rewind
much
it.
I've relegated my VHS collection now to basically just movies that I actually watched on VHS.
Yeah.
Which is the bridge I draw.
Okay.
Where it's like I had to have watched it then, mainly because that's the quality I almost remember it in. Because sometimes I'll watch these like super HD 4K of like even these old cartoons and stuff, whatever, the Aristocats or
Yeah.
something. I'll be like, I don't know. I think I liked Oliver and Company a little better on VHS. But it's probably mainly just I was a child.
Right.
But
Yeah.
there's something fun about I do like some amount of old tech just in general.
Yeah.
I think it is cool, but it's a stupid hobby and I'll regret it.
I don't know how many movies I own, but it's a fucking shitload.
Well, now that I'm onto the Blu-ray collection, I will wait at least 3 more technologies before I do it again. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
Yeah.
3 more or at least
I don't
2
know
more
if
from
there will
Blu-ray.
be another one. I mean, there is 4K.
It'll be
There's
like a
Ultra-
holodeck or something.
There's
you know?
Ultra 4K.
It all stream though. That's the whole thing.
That's why, because I don't think they'll advance.
Blu-ray will probably be the last large scale physical media that's out there. I don't
Yeah.
think I can't. Unless things
Well,
change.
we all know what Alex's predictions are like.
Only political ones.
Yeah, that's right.
set your watch to it.
That means we're about to have a do-ray. a
You don't
poo-ray.
even know.
Now, yeah, I'll be interested to, I mean, I have to imagine it's going to be VR or something. You know what I mean? Something more immersive
Yeah.
would be the only way they'd put out
I don't know. With AI, you'll be able to. I mean, I think it's going to be an issue because you're going to be like, I would like to see this. I'm on a movie starring me. I'd like to fight some monsters and bone the hot lady, and I'd like to watch that in about 4 minutes. Thank you.
beep boop.
And that's going to be entirely possible.
Right.
So it's pretty fucking crazy. Some of this AI shit. There's a documentary currently that Sarah and I were watching about Lou Pearlman, the guy that managed all the boy bands.
Mm-hmm.
And all the in between segments, he's talking like to a camera, and it looks like old VHS. It's fucking all AI
Wow.
with his voice and him talking to the camera, and like,
Huh.
I was like, oh shit! And it's excerpts
Isn't
from,
he- yeah, he
from his
died.
book. It's excerpts from his book that they've made into AI video of him talking. And you wouldn't fucking know it. You wouldn't know it. You just wouldn't. It looks like the man is talking. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
So they've come a long way from Tony Soprano's mom and that one scene
Yeah.
where they had to like CGI.
I don't
her
like
head
that
on.
kind of talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, did they film her dead body before this? Yeah,
Even recent Star Wars movies where they add dead actors, you're like, it's clearly not them.
yeah.
It's clearly
or the
CGI,
Irishman, which was very funny
Yeah.
too.
which I can watch now.
Right. Well,
I got to set aside 4 hours.
it was a long one.
Yeah.
This one was a long one, as a matter of fact. We've done 2 hours, I think. Just
Oh.
now, which means we need to start landing this plane.
2 hours.
We have overshot Vegas. We gotta-
jib-jabbing about nothing.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
Just kind of prattling
Yeah,
on. You know?
yeah.
Yeah, it's been busy. I, as always, Venmo at Toblecop.
Mm-hmm.
That's Merrill's college fund these days.
That's right.
Black Cat Ice Cream, the label that pays. Shout out Shyla, our executive producer. She didn't laugh very much, which means this one stunk. and for that, we apologize.
I don't think it stunk.
We
but
did
it
all
was,
right.
not to laugh a minute
Yeah.
necessarily.
It was more just kind of musing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Terrible, terrible music.
Patreon.com/NoSleepDSM. Teehee's on tour August 17th, Moberg Gallery. Get your tickets now. That'll motivate me to get the lineup done. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
You know, sometimes you wait like a quarterback. You kind of wait sometimes to call the play a little later.
Yeah.
You're like, I'll just feel it when
Trying to draw the defense off sides.
When I'm in the pocket, I'll feel it.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'll call an audible.
That's how I've done every single thing in my entire life.
One could say.
Yes.
Yeah, but I've been AJ Simmons. Thank you so much for watching.
Ooh, I've been Tom McGrain.
And I've been the Ice Cream King of Des Moines, Alex Carter.
Fucking AJ, Toll and Alex. They're fucking hilarious.
This is a certified hood classic. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.